maybe except for Oppenheimer, but that's very
Nice.
different type of villain.
That's something I really want to see, to be honest. Like I want to see him play this character.
I mean,
It
yeah,
looks
sure.
cool.
I guess I just don't know if I could have confidence behind it as being a great decision. It's just like, well, I mean, I guess if we're not seeing his face ever, or if we ever do see it, they're gonna just make him look like a different guy, or like make him look as much like comic accurate Victor Von Doom as possible, because like a deep fake shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Disney's not afraid of doing that. Clearly,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think-
blame people at all for being skeptical for any upcoming Marvel projects, but like, because I mean, they've been fucking up left and right, and of course they're desperate, right? And this is a move made out of desperation, I think. But
and
they
bring
got
back the Russos too.
yeah, they got the Russos directing, and they got McFeely, who's one of the writers on Infinity War and Endgame. And so, like, based on those
So
two
it's
things, I
50-50.
think there might be hope for this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like-
it's
like- Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead,
man.
Weekend.
No, I'm just gonna say like it's so desperate. Like if it doesn't feel genuine, like see how stacked our deck is. That's what it feels like. Rather
Mhm.
than if you reveal later that during the movie, like you keep Robert Downey Jr.'s involvement hush hush. Then during the movie, people realize, oh shit, it's a variant of Mr. Iron Man. It's like. I think that
Mr.
would have
Iron
been
Man.
more impactful than just fucking. Oh, he's Victor Von Doom playing her like.
Oh boy.
Please
I guess
give
Yeah.
us money. Like,
But like I said, though, I mean, before with the previous Avengers movies that were slated, they had that dog shit writer that did Multiverse of Madness
Yeah.
lined up for
Oh.
those. But now they got McFeely at
Waldron.
least. Like if they're good scripts, then whatever. I'm actually looking forward to it.
I think one thing that's definitely a plus is saying, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is the one that's going to be playing Doctor Doom, and also it's not called the Kang Dynasty anymore. It's called, what is it, Doomsday? Is it Doomsday?
Yeah.
yeah, it's Doomsday,
Yeah, so saying that is a very clear, and honestly, the existence of the movie that you are here on this episode of The Forge to talk about, Deadpool and Wolverine, is awareness that this isn't working and we need to do something radically different than what our plan has been for the last little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it is them saying, okay, we get it. We're fucking up a bit.
Do they?
Right,
know-
yeah,
Try
they-
to go back to what works. And
They are
I gotta give
desperate,
them a little bit of credit for that. It's like, well, yeah, you probably should go back to what works in this context.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say something, but I fucking forgot.
I don't know. I was about to.
What was it?
I just put out the tweet and was like, "Why can't I tag Weekend Bar?" It's like, "Oh right,
Right, yeah, I got cancelled once again on the
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh no.
Cancelled.
they
Oh,
can't
no.
Twitter moderators don't understand hyperbole, and they're fucking.
Oh yeah.
They really don't.
Claim Filipino racism.
Do it. It's
Metal.
easy. It's easy. Oh man. Hey chat, what's going on?
Bit of Chainsaw Man.
What's happening?
Um,
We're doing.
and I said that the guy who wrote it should be unalive.
Guess you
Weekend
always
is a
gotta
very
have that
bad
in
boy.
Minecraft.
That's a call to violence. You're gonna go out and kill him.
It's true. It's true. I don't think I can have you on the forge anymore, Weekend. I think it's too much. I have to fire you like Boogie, or you can put murder on your forehead or something.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
we'll give him a cool tattoo.
No, I got disconnected. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No,
Something.
not a tattoo in real life though. You just got to put it on your avatar.
Yeah, that would be easy to do. God, that.
Well, I
that-
mean, yeah, he's
that
got
Boogie arc
an
is,
entirely white face. Tattoos
Oh, Boogie.
would be
Can
quite
we not,
visible.
Can we not talk about Boogie?
Oh god.
What do you mean?
I
wanted-
haven't gotten through too much of yesterday's episode yet, but I will.
Oh,
will be
it
a
was a-
thing
it
that
was
I
a riot.
listen to while playing games.
There was a lot of things that I didn't even know. I was paying attention to it, but his whole crazy breakdown with the tipples, that fucking broke me. That was so funny.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
Tipples! That's such a good meme, dude.
I don't even know what tipples are.
He's
It's better that you
misspeaking
don't
while
know.
he's pretending to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah,
It's-
pretending.
it's,
He's such a
man.
fucking... Such a
If-
piece of shit.
People should just watch the supercut that Mahler put together for those EFABs. They were really
Oh
fun.
yeah,
They're
he
really
did
good.
the same thing he did for Synthetic Man.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Ragnarok. Oh
Yeah.
god.
And he had to
He
do,
seems to be having a mental breakdown that doesn't end. It's like
But he-
24/7.
yeah, but he had to do two. That's why there's two parts. Like last week was 2 hours of Supercut, and this one was 2.5 hours, I think. Yeah, you can find those on the Mueller channel. They're
It's like Infinity War and Endgame of Boogie coverage.
yeah, the boogie
Split
verse.
across two epic streams.
I think it's gonna be a
Wait,
third,
this-
isn't there?
This mean Boogie will come back as Victor Von Doom?
Oh
Oh,
my
God.
god. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
That would be a bold
Dylan
choice.
chat points out my friend John was the worst part. Yeah, when he just starts talking about Total Biscuit. Fucking
Oh yeah,
dickhead.
but
Oh,
I read somewhere or I watched some other YouTube stream that he was also shit talking Total Biscuit after the fact. Like he was back. I think.
Oh
it was
yeah,
a
he
Jin
was
stream.
doing like he put out like a community post or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's I think it starts with like, oh, it's very sad, and it's like, well, but that one time he called me out for doing something cringe and scummy,
And,
even though because I did it, even though he told me not to. But
Hold on,
that's
Boogie
a good
did something
thing, and it's
cringe?
like always makes it about himself. He's such a horrible
Yeah.
human being. It's insane.
keep Total Biscuit's name out your
Out of
fucking
fucking-
mouth.
God, he starts repeating
Which I mean,
himself.
hey, is one of the jokes in this movie that might end up being kind of dated. But at the
Ooh.
same time, I don't know. That's always going to be a thing that happens.
Oh, that was like a huge cultural thing. So that's
Yeah, like that's the thing. I don't think people are forgetting the Will Smith line
No.
anytime soon. It's not exactly a meme. That was more of a it was a historical event.
Yeah, that was like that's a fixed point in time. That's like
Yeah.
a canon event. Yeah.
The first time
Have you
anyone
got-
was slapped on the stage at the
you guys-
Academy Awards.
Have you guys seen Chris Rock's special he made like a year or two after? And the
Oh yeah, he shit talk.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the-
no, I
yeah.
did watch it actually. Yeah, no, the last like 20 minutes are on the
yeah, the
side.
last couple of minutes, like that's how he ends the special, where it's like, and I didn't say anything, and everyone called you a bitch, and everyone called you a bitch. It's so good. Yeah, it's pretty.
I think Chris Rock has like a pass to make fun of Will Smith forever.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
He's also easily got a $20 million payday anytime Will Smith needs him in a project in order to try to make up for it. Like Chris can ask for whatever the hell he wants, and he's probably gonna get it.
God, Will Smith needs
30
to
M Will.
fucking get a divorce and needs to, get some more self-respect back. He deserves
Oh,
it.
yeah,
He's such a legend,
so-
dude, and then he's such a cuck now. It's so sad.
His wife even said he shouldn't have slapped him. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
like come on, Jada.
Yeah,
At
well-
least say, you know what, like it was probably a bad idea, but I was really like I was kind of touched by the fact that he had the courage to go.
I was
up
so
and do
touched that I
even though
fucked his
did-
friend
yeah.
again.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
Jada
no, her
Pinkett
son's
Smith
friend.
did a lot of things she
Yeah.
shouldn't have done.
Son's
Yeah,
friend,
son's friend,
not
Yeah,
right.
her son's friend. Right.
God damn it.
That is worse. I don't like whatever anyone says.
And then going around on podcasts and talk about it all the time. Yeah, God, what a
Yeah,
dude,
it's so
the
cringe.
world is fucking insane. Like Hollywood is.
Go
Yeah. Well,
podcast.
Hollywood, Los Angeles is fucking insane in particular.
just
think
imagine
it's deranged,
sometimes-
both of them.
I just imagine sometimes just being thrown into this universe for whatever reason, but just with the same mindset I have now. Like, I don't think I would survive. It's like, what is happening? What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of like, do you want to join our cult? It's like, no, I want to play video games.
No,
Go
I'm
away.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
want
did
to
you see
sell
that-
some crypto? It's like, no.
There was a clip that Leslie Headland was explaining the acolyte, and she was wearing like very Midsommar-esque attire. It was so
Did
funny.
you really?
I'll try to
Like,
find it.
thinks
I
of
think
herself as the
Robot
May
Head.
Queen.
God, that show was so
Yeah.
bad, dude. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
The one thing I'll give it to Midsummer, it demonstrated psychedelic drugs in a very interesting way on film that actually was kind of accurate. I gotta say.
I've never seen that
yeah,
movie.
that's a filmmaking thing, not a storytelling thing. So.
Yeah, I
different
agree.
kinds
I
of-
mean, depicting a panic attack has become kind of a meme now. Like a bunch of movies are doing it, and they get celebrated for it to an obnoxious degree. But
Puss
that
in Boots
movie,
too,
I
man.
think, did it remarkably well.
Things
Florence
like
Pugh
though-
did that.
Well,
Great.
they made it seem though things like the flowers were breathing, and then
Yeah.
that actually is, that is kind of it's a thing that does happen if you're on like mushrooms or LSD, but it's not because the flowers are breathing. It's because you're breathing, and your perception is like changing with your breath. So it kind of looks like the world is breathing along with you if you're focusing on it. It's
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like he actually did this pretty well.
Mhm.
This is kind of
peop-
what it's like.
People's
hear
faces like
allegedly.
subtly changing and stuff, like these crazy
Yeah.
grins on their faces. Like, there's a subtlety to it that I appreciated.
I think it telegraphs all its scary stuff too much though with those like tapestries. Like it's pretty much just like, oh, here's the next scary thing that's gonna happen, so that when it happens, you're not really gonna be shocked by it at all. And I was like, that was a weird choice.
Right.
We can
Anyways,
one E
Deadpool.
more than necessary in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Hereditary is a
Weekend.
better movie. That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to find it. Where is it? It's just so funny. Like,
those writers for these current shows are
I did find something that is relevant to our discussion, so
Oh, boy.
I'll just post it on.
I'm gonna get the chat up.
oh, that's like the the Wolverine CGI all the way at the end
Like,
when they jump out of the
Yeah,
bus.
he looks like
It's even
an idle
crazier because
animation.
Deadpool talks a little bit and he just stands next to him like an NPC and just
Yeah.
goes around like moves weirdly around in like a in an idle state. It looks really bad.
Yeah, that shot was weird. I didn't like that.
Did you guys know Boogie played female Deadpool? Oh, that makes so much sense.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Lost a lot of weight for that. I admire him.
Good job. Oh well, I guess we can just we here today to talk about the new MCU movie because Deadpool
Blade
is
4.
now
Blade,
Blade 4.
Blade 4.
Deadpool and Wolverine, the big boy that everyone was hyped about, and me too. I was like, I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what, this could be fine. This could be all right. This could have like a story of sorts, and well, I guess it has one, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
The story is not the reason you should go to see this movie.
Yeah.
It's-
It's like a fan service love letter thingamabob.
So
Actually, we should start. Maybe we should like give our initial impressions because that might set the tone of the way we're going to be
okay,
approaching each.
yeah, you're right.
Sure.
So
Let's-
John, why don't you start? We'll go.
I'll go last.
Outside to inside. Why not?
I'll go last.
Well,
Yeah, guess first.
okay. The framework of this movie is a total fucking mess. But like the Disney Marvel is in shambles. It's like a massive, wasteland of wreckage. And they literally do that in this movie where like I think Ryan Reynolds Ryan Reynolds saw that and then took the opportunity to set the movie in a literal wreckage, not just in terms of the desert setting, but just overall. Everything's just a mess with one failed project after another when it comes to Disney and Marvel. And I think Ryan Reynolds saw that as a playground where it's just like, you know what? He's a fourth wall breaking character. We're all already doing all this fucking crazy multiverse shit. Let's just have fun with this. And maybe at the end of this, Marvel is going to be able to turn this around, use this as an opportunity to start making quality projects again. I don't know if they will or not, but I understand the thought process. But it is a train wreck if you try to like analyze it. Because I mean, one of the biggest problems is that there's no consequence to anything, which is also a symptom of like the multiverse thing in general, even when it's done well. You can just like not only the multiverse thing, but you've got the time stone as an element in the overall story as well. So it's just like anyone dies,
John,
there's always the possibility you can bring them back.
John, apparently your volume's a little loud. Sorry, I'm just
I
noticing
already
from the
turned
chat.
him down. It's all good.
Oh, okay,
It's all
sorry
good.
about that.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
So yeah, I went to this just wanting to see the characters and the actors playing them because I think Ryan Reynolds is a fantastic Deadpool. I think Hugh Jackman is a fantastic Wolverine, and I think putting those two together in particular is a really smart move. Like the way their powers sort of complement each other. The way they fight, but they both have the same regenerative quality, so they just have these endless bloody fights. And of course, like their personalities clash. Like it's just a great chemistry that they have, not only in terms of the two actors, but the two characters, and that really saved it for me. That was what made it compelling. I mean, the logic of the whole thing is a joke. I mean, they incorporate the TVA shit from Loki, which I think is one of the worst things Marvel ever introduced to the whole thing. Like, I remember watching Loki and that some guy opens a drawer full of Infinity Stones, and it's just like, what the fuck, man?
Piss
just
on
like
your own story.
you just like destroyed the foundation of, the Infinity Saga, basically. But it was a fun movie. I found the jokes a little too much sometimes. Like, I mean, I can handle crude, but I don't really want to hear Marvel characters talk about cum and shit. Like, it's not. I wasn't grossed out, but I was just like rolling my eyes, going, "Oh, okay, cool." But there are a lot of funny moments in this, and I did enjoy it. I had a good time.
Well,
That's my bit.
Well, there you go.
All right. Weekend?
Well, I am mostly in agreement with John. It is an entertaining, fun ride if you turn your brain off. It's when you think about the movie and you had a beer after. It's like you go, wait a minute, that doesn't work, and you know. But I think it's a movie that Marvel needs right now. It's a movie that gives them a win financially. This fucking movie has recouped in 3 days what fucking Captain Marvel did in this whole run. So that
That's
is funny to me. That is fucking funny, and it's just like just give people a good time. And I think this is a fun time for most people. Normies will eat this shit up. I've already been seeing memes online like the oh my like the dance. Oh, it's back. It's NSYNC, and NSYNC changed their title to refer to Deadpool. That is so fucking funny.
Hmm.
It's like it's just like I think um it's just a fun movie, and it's a good like palate cleanser after all the shit that they've done. So if they fuck up after this, it's over for Marvel. That's my opinion on it. It's a fun ride. Don't think about it. And we're here, and but the point of this podcast and most review entertainers online is to think about this shit. And I think if we go to spoiler territory, I think we'll have some words about that. So that's all I want to say for now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, I actually am in agreement with John about the use of the wasteland of failed projects. Like a wasteland of missed potential. I think is kind of what it was. It's like all of these things probably could have been good, but they were handled poorly in one way or the other, including Blade, as we examined in our last episode. Because Blade Trinity is not a good movie, and I will argue with my wife over that as hard as I need to until she agrees. She's like, no, it's good. I'm like, honey, Ryan Reynolds being attractive does not make the movie good. Because Jessica Biel was in it too, and I'm like, she is hot, really hot in that movie. Still, the movie sucks. It's really bad. But
Yeah.
The idea of using that as a way to basically kick Marvel when it's down and actually make people who liked Marvel when it was good happy because of it. Whereas like it was almost like the best thing they could have done with Marvel being in as shit a situation as it could possibly be. And I thought that having the TVA play as critical role in it, I think was a mistake. I think having them at the beginning might have been all right, but like just to have the opening scene be what it is that we'll talk about in a moment with the skeleton. And I thought that would have been a nice way to be like, okay, yeah, the TVA, we're setting up the multiverse shit. We're putting Deadpool and Wolverine in this situation. And now it's really just so we could murder a whole bunch of them and make it really gory at the beginning and it'll be funny. But they did make them sort of the A story, which I wasn't a huge fan of. At the same time, I think it's taking the piss out of the MCU enough that you could probably make the argument that this is a movie that probably shouldn't have been able to be made in the way that it was. And it's only the fact that Marvel's been losing as much money as they have that like we were given an opportunity for Ryan Reynolds to just essentially like piss all over the corpse of it, which I think would be upsetting if it was good, you know? Like it's almost like we're at the point where the actual mainline stuff is so bad that subverting it in a way that's disrespectful in a lot of ways is sort of the only thing you can do to get the audience to like laugh along with you instead of just laughing at you. Because like like you guys see Quantum Mania? I know we did.
Yeah.
Like,
What a pile
but-
of shit
Wish I
that
didn't.
was.
But that's what I mean. So like when that's their standard for like, oh yeah, this is the epic introduction of the person who's going to be the villain of the next Avengers film, Kang. It's going to be the ultimate fight for this universe, even though it's a small one. It's like, well, but it's trash though. It's absolutely horrible, and no one likes it. And the people who do are, I don't know. Like I don't want to say they're shills, but they're not thinking too hard about what they're watching, and they probably don't have particularly great taste in stories. But I don't know. I just thought that this was the perfect movie to happen to the MCU at this point in its history. But it very easily could be the nail in its coffin as well. But I suppose I'm in a point that I'm happy about that nail happening. At the same time, though, as we were discussing with the Doctor Doom stuff earlier, this might have also been their wake-up call to be like, hey, wait. If people obviously are laughing along with how bad the MCU is right now because this movie is making a ton of money. And our other movies aren't, so maybe going back to what works is the thing to be doing, which is why it might be interesting to see what they do going forward. But I still think the new Captain America movie is probably not going to be. I think that is going to be a remnant of the pre-Deadpool 3 taking the piss out of everything production pipeline. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, the story is an absolute like joke kind of in a like quite literally, and if you pick it apart, it falls apart almost instantly. But overall though, I had a blast watching it. I was laughing quite a lot. I thought the action scenes were pretty well shot despite being pretty heavily relied on CGI. You could actually see what's going on. It did not have the Acolyte problem of only shooting fight scenes in medium wide. We got a lot of wide shots. We got some close-up cut-ins. They were interesting to watch. Lots of blood. I like blood in fight scenes. And yeah. So I would still recommend going to see this movie, but I think if you're expecting it to save the MCU, it will do that in an unorthodox way, if at all, and probably not at all.
All right.
I think that's about it for me.
All right, here I go. Did I have fun the first time watching it in the cinema? Yes, lots of fun. The atmosphere in the cinema was great. Was pretty entertaining to me. And I even messaged Mewplay. It's like I really enjoyed it. And then I took my bicycle ride home, and it just fell apart immediately. This movie's bad, guys. This movie's fucking horrible. I'm gonna say it straight out. It's fucking awful. Nothing in this shit makes sense. It's quite bad. I don't understand what Deadpool's arc is even gonna be. I don't know why he did the choices he did in whatever happened between movies. They used the TVA even though he already had the time machine, which he said he destroyed after reviving people. Then we already had all the broken world building. And they break it even more. They make shit with like the fling ring, because the fling ring is now just a thing that everybody can use and can also now go through universes.
Oh, yeah.
All the training that has happened in the Strange movies, fuck that shit.
I mean, I guess it would, to be fair, if a person with Professor X's power defeated Doctor Strange, they'd be able to know how to use it.
Why?
Because they can like read everything about their brain and how it works and what their training is and like they would know everything that they know.
Maybe she used the bad touch, stranger danger thing on him before he killed her.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, like 'cause I feel like Professor X, if given a moment in a room with Doctor Strange, could figure out how to use a sling ring. That's what I'm saying.
Then we have the whole
Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but
the whole thing with the Time Ripper is an absolute joke, because they have little fucking grenades they can throw that fucking prune a whole universe in an instant. So I don't even know what the fuck is going on with this.
Why didn't anyone shoot? Sorry, I was just wondering now.
We'll get to these things. Let me do my little rant. Shit, where was I? Oh yeah, the Wolverine we have. Listen, I like Hugh Jackman. I like Ryan Reynolds. They do a great job, but the way they do the emotional scenes in this, while great acting wise, they don't even make any fucking sense to me, because these people don't know each other. they only work because we know the meta of those people having interacted in other movies. The cameos, they're kind of fine, but they're like bottom barrel, like a little bit over the Loki's in the background, and they get a little bit of fighting and some lines sometimes. Yeah, I know this movie's really bad. That's it. I don't know if I would still recommend it. If you would have asked me right after the cinema, I was like, yeah, go watch it. It's fun. But I don't know if I wanna. I don't know, reward them for this shitty writing that just fits right in everything we've seen in the last couple of years.
But I mean, would not the theater going experience be a good reason to still recommend people go to see it in a theater? And I mean, because like you said, you had fun watching it the first time, so I guess to me that would mean at the very least watching it once would be probably worth your time and money. But
I guess
maybe
it depends on you.
You don't want to hold this up. Like I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh, this is like the best Marvel movie, the best multiverse movie." And I'm like, "Oh."
The thing is, then they're just gonna start creating more smoke screens when you give them their money. It's like, look, this is funny, right? But the writing is still horrible. Like it's just this thing. It's like I don't know if I would want to reward them for the shitty writing, even though it is fun. Go watch it when it's out. It's probably gonna be on digital in 2 weeks.
It'll be on
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, I doubt that.
I mean, it's already out.
A couple months 'cause it's doing well.
They released it on digital before, and no. But yeah, that's my blurb. Because I also did a rewatch of this movie already in preparation for this, and didn't do well in my brain. There's still parts and there's still funny bits in there that I still enjoy. This might be like a little wait, what's the word? Guilty pleasure movie that I might rewatch in the future because I like the dynamic still. But yeah, it's a horrible movie. I don't like it at all.
Well, I think someone asked me though, how does it justify the theater costs? I feel I should justify that because it's a good question. I guess it's just if your plan was to go out to the theater and go see a funny movie that you're gonna probably have fun watching, and you're I guess as black-pilled on the MCU as me, where it's like I'm not expecting it to be a story that's really gonna have a lot of heart or anything like that, even though if it did, it could have, and that would have been nice. But I guess just like if you go in expecting to have a good time at this movie because it's a comedy primarily, you'll probably have a good time with it. If you think it's going to be one of the best comic book movies you've ever seen, you will hate it, like because it isn't. It's just a fun comedy movie,
well,
almost a parody.
A lot of people already do think it's like one of the best ones. I think this. I wouldn't be surprised if this will get close to $1 billion. To be honest, like
I think Deadpool 1 and 2 are both better, for the record. Like, yes. And I didn't remember Deadpool 2 being as good as it was. I kind of I rewatched it and ended up liking it quite a bit actually. I think though it's a different cut that's on the Blu-ray, the super duper cut.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. I actually don't know what the other one is anymore. I've seen Deadpool 1 and 2 so long ago, I don't remember.
I had only seen it in theaters, and I just didn't I didn't ever watch it again. So I saw the theatrical cut, thought it was okay, but didn't really love it, and then just watched it at home this week, and I was like, oh, this is like actually a lot better than I remember. The action's quite a bit better than in the first one for the most part.
I like the after credit scene where he goes to Baby Hitler and he's like, I can't do it, man.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do it. Well, I mean, to be fair, that actually helps preserve the timeline quite a bit. If he did do it, it'd be like, okay, so wait, now did World War II, how does Captain America exist now?
Yeah, that's a whole thing. But yeah.
Do you guys think it's possible to do this movie in the way that it was made in a good way? Like looking at what Disney Marvel has done, looking at the shambles it's in, using a fourth wall breaking character like Deadpool to sort of point and laugh at it. Mm-hmm. And to construct a story that sort of navigates the mess that the company and all its projects are in. Do you think there's a good way of possibly doing that?
I mean, for one, you don't need to dig up Logan's corpse and kill people with it. As much as I love to see the TVA getting absolutely annihilated, it's just like we ended Deadpool 2 with him killing the Deadpool in the X-Men movie, X-Men Origins, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why we just started there. Like we already could have done the team up with this. could have just left this alone completely.
Or you know what they could have done? They could have shat on Kang, like the idea of like this master guy, and they
Yeah.
could have made like an evil
Yeah,
Deadpool
that would have been
goes
better.
on killing multiverses, and it's up to Fox Deadpool to stop him, and just mocking. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go a Deadpool dynasty, and they're gonna just shit on the idea. What if you get canceled for beating Blake Lively, you idiot, or something like that?
I have to agree. Like when the movie opened and he's digging up his corpse from the X marked grave from the end of Logan, I've got a weird feeling. I was just like, I
It's
don't know
like
how to feel about this.
the thing is, I
But
was like, I was
Jojo.
laughing at the time, but I was like, still like, oh man, I don't. This is kind of
Well,
funny, but is it worth it? I don't know.
no, I think I had the same reaction. I was just like, "Oh my God, are we really? This is how the movie opens." So, and then, in a way, it's in poor taste, but it's obviously
Jojo.
deliberate. And
Yeah,
Deadpool is a sort of bad taste character, and it's just like,
absolutely.
okay, they are leaning into this, and I kind of appreciate the ballsiness of that. So, and I don't overall, I don't think it disrespected Logan.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, like
I mean, he's
I
still
sort of
dead,
think,
I guess.
yeah, but
yeah.
like I guess the thing is, the interaction. Jojo, come on. Okay, never mind. Next person.
Oh, next person.
Uh,
Okay.
like they at least took like if that situation is gonna play out, like they had it so they acknowledged Wolverine's adamantium bones, and then in the fight scene that follows, like the fact that they're like indestructible and basically like knives. If I don't know how the bones like stabbed people, to be honest, like when they're flying through the air. Like if you can't break adamantium into shards,
Hmm.
like I don't know how there would be like pointy edges. I guess maybe with some of the bones, but like it's like okay, if we're gonna do this, it's in such bad taste. But if we're gonna do this, let's acknowledge the how his bones actually work.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that
Oh,
it's all adamantium laced. Like they thought about it in a comic book sort of way. Um, but it there's a bit of bad taste there, but I guess that's just the character.
Yeah.
You know, like he will make jokes like that. That's like a little off-putting, but you kind of laugh along with it.
I've calmed the puppy. But yeah, I guess
Yay.
what I liked was the fact that they addressed that it seemed like they were about to retcon Logan, where he's like, that's not how regenerative healing factors work. And you thought that he'd just be like, I don't know, like sickly but still in there and
Mm-hmm.
alive. And I think that having him be like, oh no, like this death mattered. Like he actually died here, and I'm not going to be able to just bring him back. And I thought that like as John was saying, it the bad taste element is pretty like in character for Deadpool, and I thought that it was interesting to make it like the first fight scene was the two of them fighting together. It was him fighting along the Logan from the film Logan, but like he
Technically,
wasn't
yeah.
alive, so it was just he was
Yeah.
using his claws and shit.
Oh, since
I-
we're on the topic of Logan, I just want to say this movie doesn't work if you think about that, because the backstory of Logan is every X-Man died, right? But you have the Deadpool with Colossus and Negasonic and everyone else in the X Mansion. So how does that work?
One thing that I
Sorry.
really
That's a
don't
good
like
point,
is
actually.
is that Logan in or Logan in Logan the movie, uh, his death. It's established in Deadpool and Wolverine that Logan's death in Logan is the result, or it ends up deteriorating that timeline as if like it shouldn't have happened, which sort of
I
destroys the meaning of it in Logan.
I think
You know.
the question though is how can Logan from Logan be in the Deadpool universe? Because those seemed like they might be different timelines entirely, or at
Yeah.
least that Logan
Yeah.
seemed like it was a lot further in the future. First of all, I guess that's probably like the biggest
I mean, that's like just the
biggest
whole
thing that's I
problem.
mean
Yeah, this is a whole problem we have with the MCU as a general. It's like, what are the timelines even anymore? Like, he even jumps around from the sacred timeline to Earth 10,000, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, well, most of the movie takes place there, and the idea is that Earth 10,001 or whatever that one was the Fox universe essentially.
guess
But the
so.
trick is the Fox universe has some different timelines of its own, so like that's where it gets messy. But yeah, it is kind of a hole because it's not very clear that Logan and Deadpool are taking place at roughly the same time because this is a finite amount of years after Deadpool 2. And they address it as Logan's death is the thing that happened in this universe, even though it was like Mad Max Wasteland style. And Logan, like Logan was, it seemed like the world was in a much different state, and that the X-Men didn't exist really, like because like Xavier was. Like, you've seen Logan,
and he killed his Deadpool self in the after credits scene of Deadpool 2. So.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's definitely not his universe where he was checking. So I don't. Yeah, it's a mess. I think
someone in chat brought up an important thing about. I think the anchor point thing is meant to be a meta point about how losing Hugh led to the series falling apart.
Yeah, it is.
I see the point there. I think that's a good point, and I think that's the thing that saves it. Otherwise, like I don't like this sort of surface of it where it's just like you meet Logan sacrificing his life like that in the Logan universe is the thing that ends up destroying it despite saving all those children's lives. I mean, it's just like it's double-edged sword. I hate it on that level, but I do
really
understand the point they're trying to make. I think I agree with that meta point where it's just like Logan felt like a real high point for Disney Marvel, or I don't know if Disney even owned Marvel at that point.
No, it was Fox X-Men. That was like,
right.
It was started as a great last for Hugh to have as Wolverine because there had been a lot of not so good Wolverine projects and movies that Wolverine is just kind of thrown into. So yeah, I think a lot of people were like, yeah, no, it's nice to have it go out on this one. And after that, they had X-Men Apocalypse, I think, and what was the third one? Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I didn't even see that
about
one.
Dark Phoenix.
I watched I thought First Class and Days of Future Past were fine, and I went to go see Apocalypse, but I was out at Apocalypse. I was like, okay, like God, what Disney? Oscar Isaac, get away from Disney. They don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, that was such a waste because like I love Oscar Isaac and I love the idea of him playing Apocalypse, but that movie, man, that was rough.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Still a good movie in there.
But yeah, while we're talking about these anchor beings, I still think it's awful. Like as a mechanic, like it can be a meta point as much as as they want to be. That means every universe has an anchor being, so there's probably unlimited amounts of universe out there that just died because someone died somehow. Because we don't even know who the anchor being in any universe is. Could be little Freddy over in the pizza shop over there. And it's like, oh, I got run over by a car. Well, guess that universe dies. Like, it's like someone of importance. It's probably not that guy, but you know what I mean. Like, we don't know who it is.
Well, I mean, like, time can't really work like that, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean, if everyone's going to die, like, most people are not immortal. I guess you can maybe make the argument that Wolverine might have been, but...
Well, also the thing is, when does it count? Because as soon as the universe is created, there needs to be an anchor being. Otherwise, it's created and already is diminishing. And then at some point, an anchor being starts to exist, and then you can do the thing.
Yeah, like, I think we can probably all agree that the anchor being and timeline fuckery aspects of the plot were not explainable. Like they don't function. They're a paper thin excuse to have the rest of this movie happen, at least as far as I can tell.
Yeah, the whole idea of an anchor being is stupid. And like, is there only one anchor being per timeline, or is there multiple anchor beings?
It's one.
I don't even know.
It's one anchor being from what they tell.
So it just happened to be Logan in that case.
Yes. But then they could make the funny jokes like, "Oh, you think you're the anchor being?" Haha.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes me hate that even more. That the idea that Logan saving all those children at the end of Logan was not supposed to happen. Like. You know, that really bothers me. I'm sorry?
Or he wasn't supposed to die. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the suggestion, right? It's like, you should have let those kids die to preserve the timeline. Like, okay. So like that film's whole story is just means the death of everybody. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, the
It's
metaphysics doesn't work because, like, let's apply that to the Gambit in the movie, whose timeline didn't even show up in this universe. In like, it's like a meta commentary, right? Where the popular character is the anchor being. Like, what about Gambit's universe? Who
I mean,
determined
I
that
think the
shit?
the joke they
Like,
were trying to make the whole time is like, well, I didn't even have like a movie or something, so
Yeah, he was cast, but the movie never happened.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
or all the people I meant to save. It's like, oh, maybe I was born here. Who really knows? It's like, okay.
yeah.
I only caught up on
Where'd
that
you get
later
the
on because I was
Louisiana
just
accent
confused
then?
by his character. It's like, why? I don't understand the jokes. What's going on? It's like, oh, he never had a movie. That's okay. I see.
yeah, I
Yeah,
like
that was
that.
the most meta of the three sort of primary cameo characters, like Fox cameo. Oh
Okay.
well, I guess four.
So
if you
someone in
include
chat
Johnny
asked,
Storm.
which TVA was this, before or after Loki season 1? I have to assume it's after season 1.
After, yeah.
Because we're basically in the present. We do like a 6-year time jump from 2018.
Loki season 1 is literally referred to by name.
Yes.
It's
So
Loki
is-
season 1
So
episode
there's a
5,
Loki somewhere as a tree doing things while some universe is dying because some anchor being died. Explain if you can explain that to me, what that means or how that affects anything. Go right ahead because I don't think anyone can.
I think the move probably should have been to have it just the TVA's deciding to, like, if you have to use the TVA's deciding to prune Deadpool's galaxy, and the mission is Deadpool has his own time machine so he can get to them. Deadpool needs to kill the TVA. He finds Wolverine to help him. And then just you get rid of all of the TVA, and it's not a problem in the MCU anymore.
But the
Like,
thing
okay,
is, they
it's all
should
one
have
timeline now, whatever.
they should have done something about Deadpool like years ago because they were pruning things left and right before Loki happened. So the whole thing that we get here in the bit is like, oh, did you get here? Did you get me here because of all the time travel I've been doing? He's like, oh yeah, you've been abusing the timelines pretty heavily. We've been watching you, but no, there's nothing to do with this. We're not doing anything. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
So-
that was odd because they really had a layup to get Loki on the radar of a time police agency, right? Like he was fucking around with the timelines. He flat out brought his girlfriend back to life.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So the idea of there being multiple TVAs is new to me. So did they do
No,
a
so
shift
it's-
in Loki's?
No. So
Sorry,
I
go
think
ahead.
what they were going for is they're like one of the teams that is just they just get put in charge of this one universe to oversee the downfall because the anchor being dies. Whatever that even fucking means. Like, go watch this for a couple of thousand years while the universe perishes. It's like, okay. But that's like
Oh, so
it's like one
there's like
team.
multiple TVA units,
Yeah, it's
and
like
they
a
each have a
unit of
different
the
job.
TVA. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is the unit of Paradox gets to watch over this thing.
Okay.
Why would you hire a guy to the time police force named Paradox?
I don't know.
Like,
think
maybe
about
like,
it.
look, bud, you're
Think
qualified,
about
but
it.
your name's a red flag.
Dude, don't get me started with the names, like the security lady from Loki, who is now, I guess, in charge of the TVA, still calls herself B-15, even though we already went past the whole we don't have names. But
Oh, she's in
keeps it-
charge? Okay, I guess that's why she was.
I'm pretty
not
sure
in her
she's now in
copy and
charge. Yeah,
I didn't watch Loki season 2, but
that's good for you.
Yeah,
I wish I
although I
didn't.
don't know, I did think that having her and Peter flirt was kind of funny.
It's just
Like, I mean, like if you're gonna do something with her, that like
Yeah.
giving Peter some action, I was like, okay, cool.
Peter Grin.
Poor Peter.
Oh man. But yeah, you know what I would have found funny is when he would just shot all the TVA people because they just have sticks. I think it was just such an easy joke to make.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're trying to kill me, and it just shoots them all. Because that's a joke
Right.
we've been making as well. It's like you just have like little sticks to prune people. He has like guns.
Well, I think the whole thing though is he didn't really think of them as much of a threat because he promised to not use his weapons.
Oh, I know. I
That's
just
like-
think it would be funny. It's like, oh, you don't have any weapons. Like, okay, I'm just gonna shoot them. But yeah, the TVA is just even more of a joke again. It's like, oh, look at all these people, and they just get killed because they suck. As always, they've always sucked. I don't even know how they kept pruning universes.
I mean, like, was there any? There wasn't really a Disney Marvel TV show that was good. Like Star Wars at least has Andor, but
Yeah.
like MCU doesn't have any good TV. Do
Wasn't
they?
like was the
Like,
Shield like
am I
the
missing
last
something?
good one they made?
Agents of Shield. Well, I mean, like, and again, yeah, I guess
That's the
this
one I
is,
only
like,
hear
I'm not.
good
I'm not
about,
talking
at
about
least.
Netflix.
Oh, right, there was
because,
Netflix.
like,
Never mind
obviously,
then.
Daredevil is like fucking
Yeah, never
amazing,
mind.
but what I mean is MCU TV is what I'm talking about. Like Disney Plus, not Disney Plus specifically, because like Andor for. Like it happened on Disney Plus, you know. So it's one of those things that when people say, "Hey, there's nothing at all worth watching," I was like, "Well, you could maybe chalk Shogun up to FX, like which is again Fox, but you know, Andor that's a Disney Star Wars project. I got to give them credit for it."
No.
I think their children's programming is all right, which sounds like a joke, but it's like, you know, I watched a bit of What If, and I'm just like, you know what, kids would like this. This is all right.
Oh, I
Like
watched,
it
like,
kind of has
3
some respect for the comic books and yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna finish. I watched like 3
Oh,
episodes.
no.
And I found it like incredibly
No,
lame.
that was it. I mean, all the adult Marvel projects, I agree. It's
Mm.
just the vast majority of them are a mess. I mean, I can't name a single one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But like the I thought it's probably a hot take, but I thought whatever the Winter Soldier show was, I liked
Falcon
some of
and the Winter
that.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
liked Wyatt Russell. I thought he was okay in it. I just thought the stuff they did with Falcon was just so dumb. Like, why is he poor? He's like a special operations soldier. Do you have any idea how
right.
much money
And-
those guys make?
and was part
Oh,
of the
they-
There
Avengers.
was. Well, I
They
mean, even if he
needed to
wasn't, if he
shoehorn
was
that
just a
in.
Navy SEAL,
Yeah.
their jobs are super dangerous, but they get paid very well. Like, you would not have trouble affording a boat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I also
They
just don't
need to
believe
shoehorn.
that Iron Man wouldn't be taking care of those guys.
Yeah, I'm not right. But
Oh, right. Yeah.
Commentary though, how would they make commentary if he was rich, right? If they made logical sense, no
Oh,
way.
damn it, you're right. My bad.
And
Didn't,
do you have
didn't
any
take that
idea-
into consideration.
Do you have any idea what the danger would be on a deployment where your job is to fly up to a plane, board it, and then like deal with some people on like criminals on board the plane? It would be insane. You get danger pay for like training people in like England if you're a Canadian.
It was funny
Maybe
to
not
think
England.
like, oh
Definitely
man,
Latvia.
I can barely afford a home. And like there's like these huge Avenger stations and bases. Like you can probably crash there easily. Like nobody would care. You can probably live there for free, to be honest. I assume they're still like
Even if we're saying okay, he wasn't working for the Avengers anymore, it was just the military that was hiring him. It's like, yo, man, like I work for the military. They don't pay poorly, and I'm
Yeah.
not a special operations guy.
what? I thought you were like the big boy. over
No,
there.
no. I'm just a medic. I work at a clinic
Wow.
these days too. I do very little soldier stuff.
Wait, you're telling me the Disney writers don't do research and they just shoehorn whatever they want?
Imagine
No way,
my
what?
shock.
Well, even
What?
if there would be someone on the not. Oh God, Jojo, let Rocky be a puppy.
No.
Jojo. Okay. There'd be someone on there that'd be like, yeah, but I mean, if he's doing this mission for the military at the beginning, like that one with the plane, how is he not like cool to just be on vacation for the rest of the year after that? Like, does he do it for free? Is he just like the superhero who decides to help the military sometimes? I feel like the answers would be no.
Maybe he gave them the wrong address. He just never gets the checks, and just
Yeah.
it's like, where's my money? I don't know.
On
Sounds stupid.
on what Weekend was just saying there, I do find it shocking that they can't find any quality writers for so much of their projects, including their mainline movies. I mean, the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness. I mean, people defend that movie. I cannot see it because that the script is dog shit. And then they got that guy. I think he also did Quantumania, and then they slated him also
That was Loki
for
season 1. Loki
Okay.
season 1 and Multiverse of Madness. Jeff Loveness was Quantumania, but they're both former Rick and Morty guys.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know what that
well,
obsession, why that obsession started. It's like, did you watch Rick and Morty? Yeah, okay. Here's $300 million. Make a movie.
And I watched an interview with that guy, that screenwriter, and he's just like he seems so like clueless and baffled as to how he got the job, and just like
It's not the only
totally
one.
seemingly uninterested in what he's writing. And it's just like, how the fuck did you get this job? Why did they give it to you? They could throw a fucking rock and probably hit somebody that would do a better job
Yeah.
than you, by all indication. It's like,
So
how?
we've been
Why
saying-
do they just insist on hiring dog shit writers
I
for
don't
all
know.
these projects?
It's so insane. I mean, we talk about like all the time. Like they make their shows. It's like, here, have 250 million, make 8 episodes of TV, and they shit something out. And it's like, did you watch the other things that you have to consider in your context? Like, no. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Isn't that part of your job?
Oh my god.
Like
Yeah.
if someone would approach me for some reason, it's like, hey, can you write a TV show for me for the MCU? It's like, oh, about what? It's like, I don't know. What character is like Hawkeye? Let's just say Hawkeye. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh wait, yeah, give me like 6 months so I can watch all the content he might be in and have like a clue what's going on, and maybe just ask some questions like that. Are you aware that there's like a Titan on Earth right now? It's like, what? No. Like there's like so many
Celestial.
things that just get they just
That was
don't
from the
take
it's
into
a celestial, but
Celestial, yeah,
Apparently they're addressing it in the new Captain America movie, and it's where they're going to mine adamantium
Yeah,
from.
that's gonna be funny.
Oh.
It's like a celestial, a
Sure.
god, a cosmic being,
Yeah.
like an elder god, dropped dead in the ocean, and now it's like a little Wakanda island,
Yeah,
but a
it's
different super metal.
it's crazy because they have like things in TV shows like fucking She-Hulk where they just put in like a little snippet on the newspaper. It's like, oh yeah, the Sokovia Accords that were abolished like years ago. It's like, excuse me, what? Okay, I thought we had like a whole movie about this that was really good, by the way, and that's like a whole point and why this should be a thing. But no, and then you have people honest like they were always stupid. It's like they weren't. They were really important. Like whatever. It's crazy. And then you have the fucking secret invasion
Invasion, yeah.
Oh
Where they've-
yeah, that was.
where they just go like, yeah,
remember.
Rhodey, he has been like captured since like Civil War. It's like, what? He doesn't even know his best friend is dead and saved the universe. The fuck?
Die in
Yeah, that
Civil
doesn't
War
work.
when he landed, or like, is that the
Yeah,
implication that it's just he's been replaced with the Skrull?
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
whatever. We'll have him pretend he's paralyzed.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, I-
insane. They just do shit, and it's like, yep, that got greenlit. Let's put it out there. Put it on the sludge machine.
Yeah, the writer famously said he didn't read the Secret War comics that it was based on, so he's a fucking Secret Invasion rather. Sorry, he didn't read it, so
Mm.
he's just a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, I mean,
And
how the fuck
they're-
is that acceptable to the higher ups? Like, not even reading the source material. So, like, hey, do you know nothing about Marvel? Great, you're hired.
You're hired.
Because we need a fresh new perspective.
Have you seen a superhero movie before that we made? It's like, no, I've seen Rick and Morty though. I wrote a line in that show. It's like, oh my god, you're qualified, overqualified actually. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the thing is, I don't even need them to read the source material. I just need them to see the rest that has happened in this whole fucking huge universe, and then make a good guess as to, okay, what can I actually do and what does and doesn't make sense. I feel like that should be part of your job in your $300 million TV show. It's just insane. Then you just all lose money, and then you have like Godzilla -1s over there and Late Night with the Devil that cost like nothing in compared to this, and they make like 3-4 times the money back because they, do something interesting, write a good story that's coherent. It's like, God. And he was like, actually, the Skrulls did all the work. Nick Fury is actually bad. It's like, fuck off. Just fuck off. I'm a bit bitter about the MCU. I'm sorry. Anyway, Deadpool.
The decision making. Sorry,
Oh,
just
go
one
ahead.
last thing. The decision making regarding picking writers reminds me of Kevin Smith's story about getting the job to write Superman Returns.
Yeah.
And
John
he's just
Peters.
like, I guess they saw Mallrats, where that character makes a joke about the kryptonite condom, and they're
Yeah.
like,
He seems to
this
know
guy
about
seems to know a
Superman."
lot about Superman.
Oh god, Kevin Smith.
But yeah,
Fucking
that's
should just
about
keep
the
him
level
public
of
speaking.
decision making, I think, among the executives. It seems to be.
Oh, well. So yeah, what? Oh, he beat up all the TVA guys, and then it's like, well, I guess he's really dead. But yeah, we go back 6 years. We go to like 2018, and Deadpool tries to just apply to the Avengers on the sacred timeline with Happy. So at this point, Tony Stark is still alive, and it's like a little joke. It's like, oh, shouldn't I keep all the stuff for the big guy? It's like, oh, he doesn't do this anymore, and it's like a little joke. It's like cameos. And it's like, no, the interview is like, oh, okay, which is funny now because he just came back. So I don't know why he wouldn't be in this. Well, this was probably shot like years ago. I'm tripping over myself. Doesn't matter.
Actually, I'm not even sure what the sacred timeline is. Is that just the Infinity War, kind of like the timeline we've all been seeing in the movies? That's
You know
the
what?
sacred
I wish I
timeline?
could fucking tell you what the sacred timeline is right now. At this
Okay.
time, like this is 2018 sacred timeline. So this should be the TVA approved timeline that's not getting pruned, I think. So I don't
Okay.
know, because now when we
Whatever
go to-
timeline the TVA determines provides the most stability for all timelines in relation to one another.
I guess. It's the thing. Even if you watch Loki, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like I can't really tell you because the rules keep changing.
That's the tricky thing about trying to pick it apart. It's like they don't even know, and there's not an answer.
They probably just saw
Yeah.
it's like, oh, sacred timeline. That sounds cool. That's the. I just assume they think the sacred timeline is the timeline we have been on the MCU for the most part.
Yeah.
I think. I think that's what they think. Is that what all the shows tell us it is? Probably not. But I don't have a better guess, so maybe. But then it's just funny because we go to the present. And it's like, oh, this is the timeline where Loki is a tree, whatever that means. I don't know. I don't know. I've watched the shows. I can't fucking tell you. It's a fucking mess, dude. I'm losing my mind.
Oh, the writers don't even care. I think they just like, whatever, let's just get something on the page and go for lunch. Or
Honestly, I don't know
go
why
home and
there wasn't a joke about this in this show. It's like, oh, sacred timeline. I don't know which one is this. I don't know. Like, I don't know why they didn't make a joke about this because I don't think anybody actually knows. They just kept piling on with Loki and Quantum Mania and Multiverse of Madness. Because sometimes they can't even decide what they want to call it. Sometimes it's universes, sometimes it's dimensions, sometimes it's timelines. Like, maybe they all exist, but they do the same thing. Because it's... If I ever need to make sense out of this, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
we do. Like that's the thing. I don't think we should try. It's
No,
it's
not
gonna
now.
work.
No, definitely not now.
No,
That's
I also don't think they thought about it that hard. It's like what
course
reference
not.
could we use? Yeah, it's just like what it. And I think John said it earlier. Like it's the framework doesn't work because I really don't think they thought of that much. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just an excuse to make fun shit happen. I think, and just don't like. It's hard to say don't think about the movie and then you think about the movie and you're hitting yourself in the dick. It's like, oh, what am I doing? The writers didn't think of this shit. Why am I punishing myself?
Well, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, this whole thing is a fucking mess, and there are people who are digging through it, going like, "Well, how does that work? Why? Like, what's the reason for all this?" And it's just like, there's nothing there. The writers didn't even think of this shit. There's
Yeah.
nothing to find.
They just keep piling on the mechanics pile, and someday someone is gonna look at us like, I don't what? It's like there's all these things I don't know. Because I
Yeah,
have to imagine at
'cause-
some point, by pure coincidence, like a writer is gonna appear, and he's like, okay, let me check all the shit out. Let me do my research, and then he's probably gonna hang from a ceiling at some point. They find him. It's like I can't make it.
Yeah. In terms of what's happening in the writers' room on these Marvel shows, I mean, it comes nowhere close to the discipline with something like Breaking Bad, where they're banging their heads against the wall and agonizing over every single plot beat. Like, I think in the Marvel writers' rooms, especially for their shows, they're just pitching funny ideas and be like, oh, yeah, that would be funny. And they write that down. And then it's like, okay, good work, guys. We have to go home firmly at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And it's just like, whatever, just write something. It's like they don't care. They're not invested. They get
Yeah.
paid either way. There's no goal of like we need to tell an actual like thoughtful story here.
Good
And that's
bit.
what
The fans will
happens-
hate that. Let's do it. Someone in chat just let's do it. We
It's
need
what
content.
it's what happens when writers look at projects like this as stepping stones and resume items. It's like, oh yeah, I wrote that Marvel thing, and instead of like, I have a really great story for Doctor Strange in mind that I need to put on the page, and hopefully someone will read it, and then you get an agent to show it to Marvel, and they're like, fuck, this is a good Doctor Strange script. Like, why isn't that how it happens?
Right. Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, we go back in time 6 years, and yeah, as I said, he's having an interview with Happy, and he's like, "I need this, da ba da babbity babbity boo." I don't really care for this scene. I don't know. It's just kind of
Yeah, it's just a meta comedy scene.
Yeah, it's just
really
like,
more than anything else.
See, we're gonna watch you, Deadpool, but you're aiming too high, so maybe aim a little lower. We'll watch you, because the
I don't like-
Avengers,
and-
the people need the Avengers, not you need like you as an Avenger need the Avengers or something like that.
I mean, and that off the bat doesn't really make tons of sense. But B, it's like, are you forgetting the fact that he has a regenerative healing factor that makes him basically unkillable? Like, isn't
Yeah.
this someone you might want on the Avengers just to be like,
as a
yeah,
reserve.
actually, you might be very helpful.
Yeah, maybe you're not in the main Avengers team, but you can be like an operative or something, right? Like make him
Yeah.
part of the Shield or something, whatever. Like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you
It's
have
like-
him here? Because they're trying to make like this point, like, oh, you want this for yourself and not to actually help the people of the world. It's like even that
Yeah.
is like fucking get him a job. He seems to be invested. But then again, I don't think I get him even wanting to be at the Avengers, just because.
Again, it's meta. It's just the
I know,
What,
it's
like
just-
Deadpool should just be interviewing to be on the Avengers, and they should say no, you're not our type.
Yeah, because the whole thing is like, oh, I really want to be someone special, and because the Vanessa he revived broke up with him apparently because he's been sad or whatever. No, wait, that
After.
happens
No,
after
no.
he applies to the Avengers.
Yeah, it's like the flimsy excuse for him to be heartbroken, so he doesn't do
Yeah.
shit and he just gives up on life basically.
Isn't it? So he applies to the Avengers. It was like, no, actually, not really. Aim a little lower. We'll watch you. And then he's getting so broken up by it that he breaks up with Vanessa and just becomes a car salesman on another timeline, by the way.
I have a question. Like,
Go,
wasn't
Dad.
does Deadpool not have like a inferiority complex ever since his first movie, or am I just imagining that?
Well, the whole thing of the second one was he felt what's the word I'm looking for? He feels like he's responsible for the death of Vanessa, but that's been redeemed because he just brought her back.
Yeah.
Remorseful, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you.
I think beyond the flawed logic of it and the points that were brought up already,
about
it felt just like a repetition of the Spider-Man Homecoming arc, where it's like he wants to be an Avenger, and then I think that arc in Homecoming is actually well done, where like eventually at the end he gets offered the Iron Spider suit, and then he realizes, you know what, I actually don't want to be an Avenger.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy just being Spider-Man in my
friendly neighbors.
neighborhood. That was actually really well done. Here is like it was just like, oh, we're doing that again, but then they didn't actually do anything with it at the end. Like I don't think they even touched on the Avengers at all
No.
at the end, or what Deadpool's consideration of it was at that point after the events of the movie.
I also still think No Way Home does the best thing with the characters interacting each other, because they actually have a point in being there, and they're just like, look, we're fighting. You remember Blade?
Yes.
It's like, I remember Blade. He's cool. It's like, yeah.
I still like that.
Yeah.
That's a thing in this movie, though.
Because they-
I'm sorry, I can't help it. That's
It's
one
fine,
where
it's
the
fine.
member bears. I'm
That's
like,
allowed.
okay, yes, I like that his last thing that he's in.
I mean,
is
I
in
was
Blade Trinity.
we were
I would
specifically
watch this
tickled.
over Blade Trinity again any day of the week.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
never choose Blade Trinity over Deadpool
I mean,
and Wolverine.
I assume we
Yeah.
were specifically tickled by this because we just had a Blade arc on the Forge where we watched them all.
Oh,
and talked
absolutely,
about that. It's definitely
Doesn't he
nothing
say
I
the line?
expected to happen. So I was kind
He
of.
says has the line, right? Like, motherfucker still
Yeah,
started
some
straight
motherfucker
uphill.
still. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
even better than that, that we might not have been as aware of if we didn't just do the Blade arc, is the line where he says, "I don't like you," and then Deadpool goes,
Never did.
"Never did."
Yeah.
And that's a very meta line because it was Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds did not get along on that set. And
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Which is why I really wasn't expecting him. Of all people, I was like, yeah, there's no chance Wesley Snipes is going to show up in a Ryan Reynolds movie. But yeah, I was,
He
Yeah,
saw
it
the
was
a good
zeros
pull.
at the end of his paycheck. It's like, work and I sign up.
they even and the meta joke they made for Elektra was just about her and Ben Affleck not being together. So like, I
Yeah,
didn't
that
find
was
that one
pretty
as funny.
funny.
It was just like, yeah, Daredevil, I got rid of him or something like that.
No, he Deadpool offered his condolences that Daredevil was one of the first people to die. It's like she said, it's
Ah.
okay.
Yeah, she's like, I'm over it or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the jokes about the actors like real relationships, it's just I feel like a step way too far.
Yeah.
Again, it's like Deadpool. It's just like, okay, we're doing this deliberately, but it's just at the same time, it's just like, fuck, we really don't give a shit here, do we? Like,
Dude, I didn't
Oh,
even
no,
just
I didn't-
anything goes.
I didn't even understand the divorce joke because I was just not aware of it.
Well, that's the
Hugh
thing.
Jackman
The
got a
divorce one, I
divorce.
thought that was weirder. I thought, whereas the "I don't like you, you never did" thing, I thought it was subtle enough that if you didn't know about the behind the scenes of Blade Trinity, you wouldn't really care, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not really that much of a line.
That's true. Yeah, there are some where it's like you have to dig for it a little bit, but then there's other ones where like Hugh Jackman's relationship, her divorce more specifically, is explicitly
Yeah.
mentioned.
I don't fucking know anything
And-
about the personal lives of celebrities. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Metal models don't get any vehicular driving jokes. True. But
There's
yeah,
a lot of Honda Odyssey humor here.
Yeah.
Deadpool is sad now. He broke up with Vanessa, or Vanessa broke up with him, or whatever. And now he's a car
I
salesman
wasn't crazy about that.
with Peter, and he tacks on a toupee or a wig onto his head because it's Deadpool, so he just uses the stapler, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next stretch of like a couple of minutes is just whatever. It's just basically jokes like, look at the characters from the old movies. We got the big Russian metal man. Why do I forget his name right now?
Colossus.
Colossus, yeah. For some reason, the one X-Force guy is there, the one who gets chopped up by the helicopter, the alien guy.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't he save them all at the end, or does he only save?
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, wait, doesn't he only save Peter?
I thought he
I don't
did,
know.
but
Yeah, you're
that
right.
guy is also here. Maybe I needed to go look back. I just was confused that he was there. Like, I didn't even think they were like this close or whatever. But I don't know, whatever.
It seemed weird to have him there, but not
Not the red.
Cable or
Yeah.
wait, who was the other person that they were missing?
Well, we had
there
the
was
we had
another
the
person
guy
that
with the
wasn't
fire hands, Fire Fist,
Yeah.
the child, which I would have expected to be in this movie, to be honest, because
I guess so. And you would have you could have said
Domino?
it was long enough that you could recast him too, if because people really didn't like the. Oh yeah, Domino,
yeah,
because I liked her. I was kind of hoping that she'd
yeah,
be
she was
in the
kind of
movie.
fun. But yeah, we don't really. We have like Yumiko there. We have the God, she has like this crazy X-Men name.
Super is Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah, I was like, that's just a funny name. I mean, that's just comedy by itself. Obviously Vanessa. We got Blind Al, which just this old lady who keeps swearing and wants to do cocaine. Which, to be fair, I think that's funny.
Yeah, it's an only joke, but it hasn't gotten old over 3 movies. I think it's
Yeah.
still funny.
And yeah, they're just kind of hanging out. They have like a party because it's Deadpool's birthday. We see him sell some cars. It's like a bunch of jokes. He interacts with a couple of people. I didn't write all of those down. Like, the thing is, if you just go through the story, there's not a lot to even go through because it's all basically like jokes in between. Which the other 2 movies did better because they still had a pretty solid through line that you could follow that is pretty coherent. While this is. And then this happened, and then this happened, because next what happens after all the shenanigans here happens, the TVA knocks on the door which I was like, why the fuck did you knock?
How can they just show up inside?
They knock on the door. He goes outside. He's like, "Oh, look, it's the strippers." Ha ha ha. He does like a little rambling thing. He's like, "I don't like you." It's like, "Oh yeah, we do with hate," and then he just gets grabbed from behind by another guy through one of these portals. It was like, okay, maybe you could have just started with that. Also, you could have just used these small grenades to just prune the whole universe because you were about to destroy it anyway. We'll get there. But yeah, he gets brought to the TVA. He talks to Paradox, and this is where he says like, "Oh, is this because of the time machine? Listen, I just brought back a couple of people, and then it destroyed. It was a long time ago." And then, as I already said, it's like, "Oh, it's nothing to do with this, but just come with me. Let's talk." He does like the things like "walk with me," haha. He has like an evil British voice, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind?
No, probably. I don't think so. They do have Welsh Pool in this, which I found funny.
Oh yeah, Peter Mullen
Yeah, that's
played
flag.
Welsh Pool. If you know Wrexham, welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
I don't, but I did see the credit in the credits, but yeah. But yeah, so whatever he did with the time machine doesn't matter. Like incursions don't matter. We forgot about those. All the other things, all the mechanics. I'm not gonna list them all. It just doesn't work. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And they end up at the TVA.
Yeah, we're in the TVA. I'm just looking at my notes because we talked about a bunch of these things already, so I don't just want to repeat them. Because it's like this whole thing, like they didn't do anything with Deadpool, even though the TVA has been pruning people before Loki, like hotcakes. It's like, oh, you went left instead of right. Goodbye, universe. And with Deadpool, for some reason, they're aware of him, have him monitored. It was like, nah, it's fine. Just we have a job for you. And basically, what the guy says, like, oh, we have a job for you. You weren't ready, but you're ready now. You were chosen by someone to be here. That's what he says. And we don't really learn what that even means. I think they just didn't bother because it's a funny movie. It was supposed to be a funny movie. It was like, someone says you had a higher calling in the distant future or something.
Teasing his appearance in Secret War.
Probably something like that. And there's like this one bit that I found kind of funny. Even on the rewatch, when it's like there's like Thor holding him, it's like, is that Thor? Why is he holding him? What is happening there? It's like, turn it off. Don't mind that one. It's like, Thor, what is happening? That was kind of fun.
I'm guessing that is going to be a scene in Secret War, which, I mean, realistically, I guess if they're going to feature one Avenger as kind of the lead of it, Thor's probably the move, and just don't let Taika Waititi anywhere near it.
Don't let Taika Waititi anything anything near.
Nah.
Oh,
Near
I thought
anything.
that was
Got there eventually.
I thought that was repurposed footage from a movie that Thor was already in. I didn't realize it might have been like from an upcoming project.
No. I read somewhere it's from the Dark World. So.
Oh, so they
Oh,
just
is it?
they put in Deadpool there. This is
Yeah.
Photoshop.
I sort of figured that was the Secret War tease. So they knew that sequence was going to be there, so they just shot a version of it to have a clip in here because it's hardly a shot, right? Like it's only it's a quick shot reverse and that's it.
You're telling me you're not excited for Waititi's Star Wars project? No, absolutely not. I think by now, even like Chris Hemsworth was like, "Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder, not great." I think he did talk very well about it, very highly.
Well, he said he wouldn't want to do another Thor movie unless they go in a totally different direction. So I think that's a pretty big like.
Yeah.
I don't like being the butt of the joke for my own movie.
I don't think
the entire time.
Yeah, I don't think Taika really likes being in that position other than for the money. Like, I don't think he has any respect for the integrity of the Marvel universe. He just wants to make a movie he thinks is funny.
He's like the dark acolyte of Scorsese's tweets. I've been trying to destroy it, Master. Isn't this what you wanted?
Is the Thor gag with Deadpool at the TVA an edit, or they actually got him to record that? Oh, as Weekend just said, apparently it's an altered version from the old world, the other movie.
Dark World.
The Dark World.
Dark World.
The
It's so
worst
funny.
one.
I forgot. Like I haven't seen those two Thor movies in forever, and they just kind of blend in. Like I don't even know which one is which anymore.
I mean, Dark World's a Thor movie where the best thing about it is Kat Dennings' boobs. So
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Where is the lie?
I don't know. Like, I mean, she's not even in anything particularly skimpy. She just got really nice boobs.
I mean,
That's
I
all
can
I'm saying.
respect that.
She's in WandaVision.
Great
too,
movie.
So it doesn't-
Great movie.
it doesn't-
Great movie.
It doesn't
10 out of
exactly.
10.
Excellent movie.
Boobs out of 10. But yeah, he's ready, whatever. So it can be something else later, somewhere, maybe, possibly. Who knows? Maybe we'll never see him again. I don't fucking know. And yeah, we already talked about Loki being a tree at this point and whatever that means, but that's not explored or mentioned or whatever. And this is where we get introduced to the whole anchor beings thing. When they die in their universe, the universe withers away over thousands of years. And we already talked about how much nonsense that is. New mechanics, yeah, very cool. We all need those. And yeah, of course, Logan was the anchor being in that universe. And now Paradox has been tasked to oversee the withering away of this universe. And Deadpool asks like, oh, how long does that take? He's like, oh, well, normally a couple of thousand years. And Deadpool's like, oh, well, good. Good news. I'm not dead. It's like, well, it's not you. It's Logan. It's like, oh, okay. It's like they all have a big laugh. But Paradox also says, oh, I can't wait. I don't want to waste my life away waiting for this to wither away. And it immediately was like, wait, what does that even mean to you, 1,000 years? Like the whole thing with the TVA is there's no time, and they basically live forever. So what the fuck does 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years even mean to you?
Like, what's the compelling reason for him to not do it? Does he have like a ball to go to in 1,000 years?
Maybe. He also really wants to be the TVA, because I think they're going for is like, oh, the TVA got solved. I just want to prune all the universes. I was like, okay. And then we introduced the fucking Time Ripper, which accelerates the end of the universe. It's like, what do you mean? I know you have tools to just instantly nuke the universe, and it's a really small thing that's as big as a grenade. You twist it, and then it takes a couple of seconds to start the process, and that's it. So I don't even know why they introduced the Ripper thing. It's just fucking nonsense.
Sounds
They
like
had to make it a big machine with cables so they could grab it at the end and hold hands and do that whole sacrifice thing.
Oh, that is so funny. When we get there, I have some comments on that shit.
Yeah, but this is how the fucking Loki show started, where he gets beat up. They put a little thing on the floor, and the universe gets pruned. I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know. It's like we needed the thing that accelerates time. I wonder what
canon when they want it to be.
I wonder what the writers would think that means. It's like, yeah, but this is for time, not for destroying the universe. Like, it just accelerates the withering away. It's like, yeah, but it also accelerates the withering away or the destruction of it if you just fucking prune it away. Let it wither away in the void where everything else goes, apparently. Like,
yeah.
It's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. This is a stupid McGuffin. That's stupid.
And this scene is too long. I mean, they should have trimmed it, I think.
That's a thing with the movie in general, I think. I think a tighter runtime would have benefited it a bit.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Because that obviously,
I mean,
we just talking about it very broadly, but there's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jokes in there. Like one way he goes up to the camera and just headbutts is like, suck it, Fox, which is kind of entertaining. Just headbutts the camera is like, suck it, Fox.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. There were some good jokes in there. Like, I understand having a long scene if you stuff it with jokes, but a lot of them just weren't really landing for me.
Yeah, I did also. It made me laugh when he gets this new suit, and then the guy just keeps grabbing his balls in his ass.
Keeps slapping his ass.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Just gets slapped over and over again. It just comes out. Just FYI, your tailor is a predator, but this suit rocks.
yeah.
Was a funny edit. It's because it's good. Funny. Yeah. When he first slapped him, I was like, please make him do it multiple times because that would be hilarious. And then he does. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
The slaps were intense. There was love there. But yeah. Yeah, as you said, there's some good jokes in here that I still enjoy. But yeah, and then the guy says, well, what are we doing to do the things? Like, okay, now that I have been propped up, can I go back to my friends and can tell them, it's like, yo, I've been promoted, blah blah. And he's like, no, you don't understand. We're not going back. We're gonna nuke your timeline. And then it was like, oh, yeah.
And like, why even tell him? Like, how did he think this was gonna go? If you're
I don't
telling
know.
Deadpool?
So the thing is, I don't even know why he got him. He just told him, it's like the higher ups, which apparently is a lie because they don't know they operate this way, told him to get Deadpool for something, which we never know what it actually is. And then after he finds out and says like, I'm not gonna do it, he gets pruned. So I don't even know why he got Deadpool here in the first place. Did he want him to work for him for some reason?
He wanted
Or-
a third
or if
Deadpool
he-
film.
If they just want him to go to the secret timeline, just put him in the secret timeline, right? Like they put all the people in the void. Just put him there. Like what's fucking stopping you? Nothing.
Right.
So yeah, I don't even know why he actually was brought here, and then he just gets pruned later. So I don't understand. It's really weird. But yeah, he also doesn't tell. It's like, oh well, that's fine. I'm gonna fix him. I'm gonna grab you a new Wolverine. Is his idea. Because for some reason Deadpool thinks, oh, let's just replace him with another one. But it's funny because then he's just like, oh, let's go there and possibly take away their anchor being, which is kind of interesting. Thing is, we don't know if every Logan. It's probably not every Logan the anchor being. He just assumes, oh, we just need a new anchor being, so I'm just gonna get another Wolverine / Logan, and then we'll be fine. And this
And
is
it's funny,
what. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say it's funny that he does the dimension hopping thing, and the 5'3" Logan was so fucking funny.
The what?
The comics accurate height Wolverine is so
Yeah.
Oh.
Short King Logan.
short King Logan.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, this is what he does now. He takes away one of these pads that they have that they use to open portals with, and he just basically we get a montage of him trying to get multiple Wolverines, and we have like the comic book accurate height Wolverine, which is like really short. We got the Cavalrine. We got the boy himself.
Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
That's the one on the axe, right? That's
I think that's the one with the
With the one hand.
with the one
With
hand.
the one
Okay.
hand, yeah.
I think the guy the Wolverine on that's crucified on the axe. That's like a comic book cover, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty famous X-Men cover.
The Cavalrine made the theater moist. Yeah, I mean he looked good. He looked
Yeah.
good. I'll tell you that.
And he made the "We'll treat you better than the fox across the street." Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. They-
I wonder who the fox across the street could be. Oh my god.
Oh
Like,
no, I wonder. The second you started seeing the shots of his back, X-Ray Girl started like squealing and slapping me, and I was like, "What?" Because I didn't know what it was gonna be. I was like, I mean, I guess I'll see when he turns around. And I was like, "Oh, okay, now I get it." She was like, "Yeah, I knew about that."
She knew Cavill from behind. Like that's amazing.
No, I think like Anna told her or something like that Star Wars
okay.
girl.
Right. But yeah, he just goes through a couple of iterations of Wolverines, and he gets like beat up or quote unquote killed by them. But he ends up at well, I guess our Wolverine here, and he's like I don't know. He's just grumpy and Wolverine-like, I guess. He wants to be left alone, and he seems to be in disrepair. I don't know. Like he's drinking. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're not welcome here." And he threatens him at gunpoint, and is like, "Wait, watch this," and just downs a whole bottle of liquor and just falls over. And he's like, "Oh, fine, guess I'll get him." And then he sees that he's actually wearing the X-Men suit. He's like, "Ooh, that only took 20 fucking years." I was like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I was okay with that meta joke. Because
So
seriously, what the
was he
fuck?
wearing the Wolverine costume under his clothes
Yes.
or
Yeah.
something?
Apparently,
Okay.
the thing is that he wears it like at all times. Apparently, as a
Oh,
Because
memory.
because this Wolverine denied joining the X-Men, and he feels that that's why they all died, because he wasn't there to
Yeah.
protect him. So as like a reminder of them and who they were, he's like always wearing it.
Oh, that
Which,
must be
you know,
hot
I mean,
underneath.
Yeah,
it's
I
all bad,
remember
but,
that.
like,
I just honestly wasn't sure, like, after the encounter with Wolverine in the bar, that he gave up on that one and then just found another Wolverine that had that costume on.
That would be funny, actually. Yeah, that would be like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's
Uh,
a failure. Let's not use this guy.
Actually, it would
Yeah.
have been really funny if pretty much every single one of the Wolverines had costumes.
Mhm.
Oh, I did like the Brown and the Hulk
Yeah.
fight Wolverine. That was great. That
That was
they should
cool,
be-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite Wolverine design, the kind of brown and red one, or orange kind of thing.
But yeah, he brings him back. It's like, see, I brought you a new Wolverine. Everything is fine. It's like, that's not how it works. Also, you brought us the worst Wolverine.
What?
And when I heard why he's the worst Wolverine, it's like, are you fucking shitting me? That's why he's the worst?
Yeah, they could have
There's
done better.
no
than that.
fucking way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah, should have been like the Wolverine that causes an apocalypse of catastrophic proportions, or the Wolverine that causes universe to implode. It's just like that.
yeah, because
Or
I'm
maybe-
At the
gonna-
very least, a malevolent Wolverine that actually
yeah.
wanted to, like,
Yes.
cause damage.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought
Or-
they were maybe going for, but I'm gonna
You know
say
what,
it
I'm gonna
now
twist
because
this.
we only get it a bit later. So basically, why this guy is the quote unquote worst Wolverine, and the reason why I'm making such a big deal of this, they make the joke that everyone in the TVA is like, oh, he's like the opposite of the Logan, like he's like super bad, like he has a reputation of being the worst one of them all, of all the infinite ones that exist.
No.
Yeah,
so
because
that
he
means,
decided to not join the team, and people got killed while he wasn't there, which was like, you could have taken the gloves off for that. You could have made it. I think it was someone on FNT that said this, so this isn't my original idea. But if just a like Mephisto or some villain that can control people just made Wolverine kill all the X-Men, that might have been something that A, would have been crazy to see if they did an actual scene of it, and
Yeah.
B, like, yeah, it would make sense why he hates himself forever, because he's like, yeah, I killed them all, and I
Yeah.
remember every bit of it.
Because what
I
he did.
thought that was.
Go ahead.
I thought they were gonna do the old man Logan thing, where Logan thought the X base was being attacked, and he killed all the X-Men. I thought they were gonna do that.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
I've actually never read no Old Man Logan.
But you know what? I'll twist this around. I'll make this a win for Logan. Well, you know what this means? Every Logan is so based. This is the worst one they have. I think that's my headcanon.
Oh,
Like
okay,
everyone is.
Yeah, because one night he was like, I'm not really want to join the team that much. I'm just gonna go out and go drink. And when he comes back, apparently some humans went mutant hunting and they killed every one of the X-Men at that time.
Whoopsie
I'm
daisy,
which
Yeah,
I'm not even.
bullshit.
I honestly, this might be a comic thing that happened or whatever. I just don't understand how that even works. I don't know.
Sentinels, I'm guessing. Like that's the only thing that could kill X-Men that Wolverine might have had a really good chance against, because like, yeah, he can tear apart robots pretty well.
Yeah, no, but they're saying humans. Like humans went mutant hunting. I don't
Well,
know.
the humans have, like, Sentinels are like they're drones basically, but they're built by humans.
Okay, but because the whole thing they're trying to point out is like, oh, I went back and killed all the humans and also some innocent ones because I didn't want to stop killing. So
Yeah.
that's the whole
and
thing.
on the worst Wolverine thing, like, on the other hand, I can totally see, like, when they were spitballing for this project, it's just like, oh, Deadpool's going around searching for Wolverines. What if he finds the worst Wolverine and he has to, like, partner up with him? Wouldn't that be funny? Okay, yeah, make sure that line is in the movie. You brought the worst Wolverine. And then, if someone might have brought up, like, well, surely there's a worse Wolverine than just simply making a mistake like that.
I mean, you have
And it's just
unlimited
like,
choices.
whatever.
Infinite multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they wanted the comedy of, like, mentioning that he is the worst Wolverine as sort of part of the comedic duo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
It's
he's
it
not.
doesn't it's got problems, yeah, but I can at least understand some of the rationale behind it when they were brainstorming this.
Yeah,
Just like, oh, he's the worst Wolverine, but then he has a redemption arc, and wouldn't it be funny because he's like tormented, and that's really gonna clash with Deadpool's personality.
yeah. But if they would
Whatever.
have done like a really awful one, the Deadpool could have just been at the end. It's like, no, fuck you. You can stay here in the void. You suck. Like, but he had to work with him for some reason. Then we can have like this last beat where he just ditches him because he's actually like horrible and unredeemable or something. Like, there's things you can do with that as well. But calling him like
Right.
this worst human being, well, we are all aware that we have a multiverse of unlimited choices where I'm pretty sure I would bet money that there's a comic where there's like an evil Wolverine. It's like, I don't know, it's like Mephisto or like a thing in the X-Men universe or whatever
Yeah.
where he just turns people evil or whatever. And they could have done something
I
like
think
this.
the more fundamental than that, it's just like, no, what they needed to do was go harder on the reason why it was the worst one. Like, you needed to have him have done a thing that is harder to forgive than I didn't join the team, therefore I wasn't in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because that's not really his fault, right? Like, it's kind of like actually, I've been on a Berserk kick with all the Berserk games I've been playing lately because I'm working on a video for it. But the idea of like the Griffith did nothing wrong thing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. But like the idea of that is like, well, if Guts didn't leave Griffith, then he wouldn't have ended up having sex with that princess and then getting tortured.
No.
And it's like, well, but yeah, but Guts is allowed to leave, right? And
Yeah.
he won his freedom, and it's not like everything Griffith does after that is now Guts's fault because Griffith had a tantrum.
Well, we know it's
because
Joel's
after-
fault, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that, right? Like, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I might have been the thing that, or like, I guess Logan might have been not where he was supposed to be and not made the choices that would have benefited everyone else. But also, it's like, well, but I mean, you guys are still X-Men, right? So
Yeah.
if you're getting attacked, are you not capable of protecting the X-Mansion? You have Colossus, you have Professor X, you have Jean Grey, you have Cyclops,
Some powerful
Rogue, Storm. Like
motherfuckers
who
there,
do who why do you need Wolverine specifically, especially when it's humans? And as people I saw were giving me shit in the chat there, Sentinels were not mentioned. So
Yeah.
like for me, I was like, Sentinels are the only thing humans have that could do that. So that's why I did the math on it. But I mean, they're right. Sentinels aren't mentioned, and they probably could have been.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, the worst Wolverine thing doesn't work. I mean, they wanted the line of "this is the worst Wolverine" for comedic value, but they also want to keep this Wolverine likable to the audience. You can't have
Yeah.
him just this irredeemable evil Wolverine. I wish they had just like left out the worst part and just said, "You brought us this Wolverine. You know what he did?" Like, and just do that. Like, don't call him the worst one.
Yeah, this is the Wolverine who never wanted to be anything resembling a hero. He didn't even join the X-Men. But
Yeah.
like, and even then, I just don't think that's a good enough reason for him to be as like morose as he is.
Mhm.
Because like, hey, those people, that team that you didn't join, they all died without you. It'd be like, well, I mean, okay, but like I was doing something else with my life, right? Like, what if I was just being the Wolverine as a superhero on my own? Like, is Spider-Man getting shit for not joining the X-Men or the Avengers? I mean, like, granted, he's kind of in the Avengers in the MCU now, but you know what I mean, right? It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can just decide to be an independent superhero in these universes.
Yeah.
Anyway, he brings the worst Wolverine back, and Deadpool just makes the jokes. Well, I have a degree in Karen, so I'm gonna talk to these higher ups and make them go. And it's like, wait, you're not even working with them. You're like off the grid. And he just is about to like get in his face, and then he just prunes Deadpool to the void. And Wolverine's like, "What the fuck is this? I'm gonna slice you all up." And then he prunes him too. And there's like a joke like, "Oh, that was close." And now he's there in the void because he was able to prune them both somehow. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're in the void now. I don't even want to talk about it. It's so fucking retarded.
I mean, that is basically the experience of this movie, going scene to scene. It's just like, okay, we're doing this. All right. I'm fine, I guess.
Yeah. And now we get the big fight between the two. Well, the first big. Well, this is the big fight, I guess. Because now we've
Where both of them are alive.
Yes, yeah. This is yeah. yeah, I mean they have their big fight because Wolverine is angry, and it's like, well, guess fine, we'll do it, and then we get them beating the piss out of each other for like 2 or 3 minutes while Hell's Bells is in the background. I don't know, it's kind of epic. I don't know, I like this. The song is cool. You can actually see what's going on with the fighting. It's very CGI heavy, like the whole movie is actually, and at times the CGI in this movie is actually really bad. Like it really stands out in a bad way. But yeah, I still kind of enjoy it. It's nothing like crazy, but it's just seeing them fight with their regenerative powers. Like they keep stabbing each other, shooting each other in the gut. It's just like I like the concept of that fight. I wish there would be another way or another medium where you can. There's probably like a cartoon show where you can see that. I would assume. Oh, is there like a Deadpool Wolverine
not really.
thingy?
Like, I mean, generally, you're not going to see a lot of like tons of blood pouring out of people in like Marvel properties, like even cartoon shows. Comics, kind of, but like even then, like it's rare that they'll go like as far as like an anime would, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could at least see what was going
maybe
on.
I've just not seen it.
You could see what was going on, so that was already a bit better than the other fighting things I've seen in the MCU, but nothing insane, nothing super crazy. It was just
being able to see blood, I think, is it's really effective for fight scenes. It really does. It helps you actually feel the impact of the blows much more than like a lot of superhero movies that'll just have two powerful characters whacking at each other with nothing happening.
Yeah, because then it's like cartoon violence. Without the blood. Like it's just like watching Tom and Jerry or something.
Oh, Swallowball just says Wolverine versus the Hulk as Wolverine cutting Deadpool to pieces. Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe I'll check that out.
Don't they have like isn't there like a rating system in comics though where they can only go so hard?
I don't know.
ESRB? Oh no, that's for video games.
It's not ESRB's for video games, but I've not read American comics recently enough to have any idea, to be honest. But I definitely, I've seen a lot of animated X-Men stuff though, and Wolverine's pretty much always fighting robots or something.
Yeah, with movies, it's MPAA in America and PEGI in UK, maybe other parts of Europe.
Right, so at some point Deadpool's like, wait, TVA can fix your past, pinky promise. And Logan's like, okay. And then they stop fighting. It's like, yeah, I don't think he would trust him. He has no reason to. He's just met him, but I guess he takes the chance, I guess. But who cares? Chris Evans is here, and it's like, yo, Captain America, but he's Johnny Storm in this one. It's like a little bait and switch they did here.
Yeah, I thought that was okay, although it does kind of assassinate the Fox Johnny Storm entirely. he was the one that got like Johnny Storm got the raw end of the deal here, but I think it was also because Chris Evans probably wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Yeah.
No, we have like a group of scavenger people or whatever, like the Cassandra's Goon Squad is coming over, and it's like, I got this, and then he shoots fire at the guy, and the guy's like absorbs the fire, and then his fire turns off, and he falls on his nuts, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then we have Sabretooth versus Wolverine. Whoa, that's so epic. And it's over in like one move. Wolverine just decapitates Sabretooth.
Yeah, that was the thing that made me worry about like what some of the cameo fight scenes are going to be like. Like I was so scared that Blade was just going to get taken out in one hit. You have no idea. I was like, don't do it. Just please don't.
No, isn't Johnny
that
the Fantastic?
Sabretooth?
Go ahead.
The Sabretooth fight was really disappointing because I thought, like, I saw a bit of that in one of the trailers, and I thought, like, they were setting that up to be, like, cool fight in the movie, and then it just ends. And, cause, like, I remember them fighting in the first X-Men movie. It's like, that was a cool fight. I mean, it would be cool if they had another cool fight here, and then it's just over. Like, oh, that's lame.
Yeah, he just gets decapitated. Everything. Like even Deadpool was like, "Oh, we've been waiting decades. Wait, let me get all the swords that are still sticking in you out of you, and let's do the thing." And then just kills him immediately. It's like, "Oh, okay." And then they
Yeah.
activate a big magnet, and they get soaked on it and get smooshed by the leg that they use to get out later. So we got Chekhov's leg right there.
Does Deadpool have adamantium in him? I can't remember.
No.
He's getting
He just
getting
has the
pushed
healing
back
factor.
because he's between the magnet and Wolverine.
He
Right,
did
okay.
in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but
Yikes.
not in any other Deadpool thing as far as I'm aware.
Okay. Is it a different Deadpool than in X-Men Origins?
Oh yeah. The X-Men Origins Wolverine one is ridiculous. They actually sew up his mouth.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
doesn't-
I mean, I know the movie sucks, but like, and that rendition of Deadpool sucks, but I'm just wondering if like it's meant to be a different Deadpool entirely, like in another universe,
Well,
or if it's just that character evolved somehow.
So
know.
that character is killed by the movie Deadpool, in the end credit scene of Deadpool 2, because he goes to basically X-Men Origins
Oh.
Wolverine end scene and then shoots him before the fight between Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine. And it's actually kind of funny knowing that this movie actually happened, because he then looks at Wolverine and says, "Hey, just so you know, I'm gonna call you and ask you to come back sometime, and just promise me when I do, say yes."
Say yes.
And then he-
Right. Yeah, I actually didn't see Deadpool 2. I think I saw parts of it. I didn't finish it all the way through because I was
Honestly,
tired or whatever.
I-
But
I
now
liked
I
it a lot
remember,
more
like, he
than
got
I
that.
thought I would.
Now I remember he got that time machine from Cable. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
So yeah, now they're captured, and they go to Cassandra Nova's hideout, which is in like a big Ant-Man suit, with a dead Ant-Man inside. And they just make there's like a skull, and they make a joke like, "Oh, look, Paul Rudd finally aged."
And that part kind of, that aspect of it is probably the thing that makes the least amount of sense too, because it's like, well, is that to say that MCU's Ant-Man is now like in the void and died here?
Well,
Like,
one
is-
of them.
One
I
of
mean,
the
maybe, I
infinite
guess, like
Ant-Mans.
the
Yeah.
fact they're doing the multiple things. It's just that it very clearly seemed to be the MCU costume. It wasn't like a different looking Ant-Man.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's just an infinite amount of every character with an infinite amount of variance and an infinite amount of fates, so nothing fucking means
That's how
anything.
Mortal Kombat 1 ends, with them flat out being like, okay, now we're in this realm where there's like a million versions of every single character, and like Jean-Claude Van
Yay.
Damme, fucking Johnny Cage is one of them too, and I'm just like, fuck, stop.
Not the video
Stop
game.
with the multiverses.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, they're now at Cassandra Noah's thing. They talk. Deadpool is just talking shit. He's like, "Hey, Johnny tells everything about you," and he goes like on this tirade what he allegedly said. And he's like, "I never said any of those." He's like, "Oh, he said he'd rather be skinned alive before he does the thing and blah and cooperates you." And then she just kind of zaps his skin away and turns him into goop.
Yeah, she gives him the treatment that tends to happen to Fantastic Four and fucking Marvel movies now.
Yeah, just get fucking obliterated instantly. It's like the end credit scene, by the way, as well, where they show the tapes. Like, see, he did actually say that. He was lying.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny, but I think it was also just like Chris Evans saying, wouldn't it be really funny if I show up in this movie and then say a bunch of really crude shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
What else do they do? Oh yeah, she tells us like, "Oh, I was dropped here before I could walk, and I've been thriving here ever since." Like, okay, I guess you did. I don't know how that works, but she's like some crazy super baby, which is the twin of Xavier. And she's like super powerful, and they were like, "Oh, she's so powerful, let's just throw her into the void so she doesn't become a problem." And since then, she's been here, made this base, and she thinks it's paradise because she can use her powers here without shame. And hey, Wolverine, let's join. It's gonna be really good. And he's like, "No, fuck you." And he attacks her, and he gets like fucking obliterated into the ground.
I have a question.
Ask away.
Shouldn't there be an infinite number of Cassandra Novas if they're all gonna be this psychotic, or is she
No,
the
only
worst
one.
among them? Oh,
Yeah, that just brings up the whole insane thing with the void. So they're trying to make this place look like random shit is falling into it like all the time, But when you consider it's like, oh, this is like infinite things that just get thrown in here at all times. This just to be a pile of everything that just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
It's just absolute
Yeah.
fucking insanity. Like this place is like should be infinitely large as well. Which also brings me to Eliath is here. You know, the guy from well,
Loki season 1 episode 5.
exactly, yeah.
I've not even seen that though. Like I only
Yeah.
know that because it's a line
So-
in the movie.
For anyone who isn't aware, Eliath is like this big cloud that eats things in the void. So just it's just so stupid. So there's like multiple tiers you can get thrown into basically. So you can be like normal world, okay. Then someone can get you into the TVA because you picked up the wrong carton of milk yesterday. And when you don't behave properly, they prune you, which gets you into the void. And when you're really unlucky in the void, you can also get eaten by a dimension-eating, material-eating fog cloud that I don't even know what happens to you. Loki and female Loki went to the world between where Kang was or whatever, but I don't think that was because they were eaten or something else. I don't remember. Fuck that show. But yeah, so there's like, for some reason, there's like this huge cloud that eats things in this infinite place. And somehow Cassandra made a pact with that thing. It's like, oh, I'll sacrifice some bodies to that thing so it leaves us alone. It's like, how the fuck did that happen? The fuck are you talking about? And apparently it comes here in regular intervals. So, okay. Why?
She had a sit down with the cloud monster over some tea and said, "Look, let's work something out here." Okay.
Yeah. So it's just funny. They kind of slash up Cassandra, but she also can regenerate and stuff, so it doesn't matter. She gets like gets all 6 of Wolverine's claws in there, another knife by Deadpool, and she's like snip snip with her fingers. It goes like snip snap, and just kind of gets rid of them immediately. And he's like, oh, whatever, Eliath is coming. He's gonna eat you. I'm gonna go back inside. And yeah.
She's powerful just because? Is that the reason?
Well, she's Xavier's twin, but she's got like proper, I don't know, psycho powers.
Well, in the world of X-Men, she's considered an Omega level mutant, and so like on the level of like Apocalypse, where he can just manipulate matter. I think he might like be a step above like Magneto, because like Magneto can control metal, but Apocalypse can control anything, almost reality itself. And I think Jean Grey was another one, Omega level maybe. I can't remember, because she can just like destroy everything if she's in a certain state.
How many powers does she have, by the way? Well, whatever she wants, basically. She can just manipulate shit. She can put her hand into your brain juices and just kind of dig around and get all the information she needs. She's very powerful. And we do the whole thing with the, we need a thing to stop her powers, and it's going to be Juggernaut's helmet. Because he's here, Juggernaut is here, and the other people that are probably also comic book peoples that I just don't know about. It's like, yeah, whatever, you're gonna get eaten now, I'm gonna go inside. But they escape with the jetpack leg they brought here, and they just kind of fly over the fucking mountains and land on top. And it's like, okay, cool, we escaped. And apparently she's cool with that. She even says later, oh, I can accept you coming, you getting away, but coming back, that's unforgivable, or whatever the fuck she says. It's weird. She doesn't really care they get away. I guess Eliath is gonna eat some of her men instead. Sucks to be them, I guess. But yeah, they basically agree now. Well, we need to. They get told by Chris Evans / Johnny Storm that there's people in the Borderlands that try to get out or fight back against her. It's like they go there now. That's their idea, to go now. How very convenient they find all these things immediately, by the way. Like they get dropped in this random place in the void, fight each other. It's like, oh, you know what? We can probably do something with the TVA. And then Chris Evans shows up. I can help you. And then the other peoples arrive and bring them to the person they exactly need to get back to where they need to be. it's all very convenient, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. They go to the diner, and if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the whole diner scene. It's like, oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
I have these people to care for. I'm not a hero, but in my universe, you were like an X-Man, the X-Man, and Logan says, well, in my world, I ain't shit. And there's nothing else to it. Nothing gets added. That's all you get. That's all the conversation you get here, which is super fucking disappointing. They do nothing with what they have here in terms of the characters. It's all so fucking vapid. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have like long dialogue scenes, like in the TVA place, like have like put a bunch of material here.
Yeah.
You know, these are the characters to have a long scene with. Like, I agree, it could have done so much more with it.
So yeah, that's all they have, and then they start walking away, like, go towards wherever they think the Borderlands might be. And then Deadpool tells him about X-23. It's like, oh yeah, you died there for her so she can live, and other children too. So I understand what they're going for here. You know, it's like oh, I'm not a hero. I failed them, and then his redemption arc is gonna be he's gonna do an heroic deed, and that's all gonna be cool. It's very bottom barrel in terms of setting up a character, but hey, at least they got the barrel this time. Okay, so I'll give him that. And then then Dogpool appears, and I hated every joke with Dogpool. I found it
I
so
love
annoying.
Deadpool. I'm sorry, it really reminds me of Metalcommander, Charlie.
I don't have anything against a dog. I think the joke they make with it is just lame. I just think it's boring. I don't like it.
Oh, that he wants to steal the dog?
No, it's just like, oh, the music and the slow-mo is like, oh, look, it's just the look, it's an ugly
Deadpool
dog,
likes
but
the
you
ugly
really like
thing,
the
yeah.
ugly dogs. Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. And then they do like 2 more times. It's like, stop.
Oh, as an ugly dog lover, I was touched.
It's a little bit indulgent, but I do like when Nice Pool keeps running up.
Nice Pool.
Hey, like, God damn it, this guy again. And he's just obnoxiously nice.
Yeah, super
like,
nice.
Polished
He's not
Deadpool
like
armor.
he's not like scriggly or anything. He's normal looking.
Where's your
Yeah.
mask?
Mask.
What-
I mean, look at my face. Come on.
like,
Which I
Yeah.
assume is a hint at Ryan Reynolds being like sexiest man of the year in 2012, 2010 or something. I think that was a thing.
Oh wow.
And he keeps
I mean,
calling
I
himself
know I don't wanna
Papa in
anywhere near my
reference to the
wife
dog.
now, so-
Right.
Like, he's just like insufferably pretentious and
Yeah. And it's like, hey, can you tell
maybe
us?
pretentious isn't the right word, but
Yeah, it's like he's
I'm gonna have a
also
growling dog in a moment here. I've got an encroaching
Annoyingly
chihuahua.
nice. Yeah, annoyingly
He's-
nice.
so he's the dog
Yeah.
parent as well, and he has like 2 golden desert eagles. So those have been set up. So we get those later, of course.
yeah.
Then he tells him, it's like, oh, the bullets are there, like, was it like 13 clicks or whatever the fuck, I don't know. That way, I can lend you my ride, and he gives him their car, which is like a small family car, basically. And there was like,
they have a-
absolutely not.
Did they have a sponsorship with the Odyssey thing?
I don't know.
It's just an oddly specific car to use for this instance.
I think the joke is that the car is so underwhelming,
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
which
like
I mean, it's not really an advertisement for Honda to do it in
Yeah,
that context.
Good fight scene inside it though.
And yeah, they just drive off in the general direction. And Deadpool is just being annoying in the car. It's like, stop talking about my suit, talking about something else. Like, oh, no. And then Deadpool says, oh, what are you going to do if they fix your universe? And Logan's like, what is that? It's like, oh, what are you going to do if they fix it? It's like, no, before that, it's if they fix it. It's like, oh, so you lied to me. And it's like, no, I made an educated wish, which is a phrase I've never heard in my life before. Is that a real
Yeah.
phrase, or did they make this
Well,
up?
I mean, my problem with it was like you could just say, look, they have time travel, man. Like, I mean, that's,
Oh, no,
that's kind of all
I'm,
you need to
no, I'm
say.
legitimately asking. I don't know if that's like a real phrase or not. I'm just curious.
No. I think
Okay.
educated guess would be the thing you would say, where it's like, I know a bit about it. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but my guess would be this.
Yeah, I know educated guess, so I was confused. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, I've never heard that before. I was just wondering if that was one I'm not aware
I
of.
think it's to make it sound like he really didn't know a little bit more, because it's not even really a guess. It's like, well, I as an educated, I mean, I hope they can,
Yeah.
as opposed to like they could probably do it. Which
The justification for starting the fight based on that, it comes off as a bit wobbly to me, but I can't remember what Deadpool initially told him. Like if he said, we'll go to this place and they will fix your universe. Like in order for that to work, then the initial pitch to Wolverine should have been that if we go to this place, they will fix it. They can and they will fix it.
Yeah,
But I don't think that's probably what I don't think that's what happened.
Oh,
I think
Deadpool said they can fix it. He said they can fix it.
Okay, but that's not a confirmation that they will still.
That's true, yeah.
So now it's just like, what do you mean if? It's just it seems like it always was if, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah, I know what you mean. So he says, yeah, they can, but I don't know if they will, because they don't really they did prune us into the void, so they probably won't, but we can try.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad the fight happened. It's one of my I think it actually might be my favorite scene in the movie is the car fight.
Boogie having cancer was an educated
yeah, it's a
wish.
really good fight.
That's a good one.
Oh, I just realized the timeline here. I think Deadpool promised, like, the only way that Wolverine and Deadpool in this movie cooperated was like after the Cassandra Nova fight, and like 5 minutes later we have the inciting incident of them in the car fighting. Right? It's so quick when I realized the chronology. It's like, oh, they just set up a few scenes ago, and now they're talking about it.
Yeah, like if you just talk about what's happening in the movie, there's like not a lot here, and a lot of it is just vapid or doesn't make any sense. That's why I said this movie's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
I
yeah,
just
they just
realized
kind of go back and forth. Logan tells him he sucks, he will never amount to anything. It's no surprise the Avengers or the X-Men didn't take him, and that he couldn't even keep a stripper. And it's like, I'm gonna fight you now. And then they do like the inside of the car fight where they just apparently for hours on end just keep stabbing each other and shooting and everything. And
Yeah, they were that mad.
everything is full of blood.
So before the fight happens, I really like that take from Hugh, like his whole rant.
Yeah.
Like, and the camera just stays on him the whole time, and you see the fury on his face, and he's so mad at one point he punches the roof of the car.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
I just thought that whole beat was so great.
Yeah, because he says it's a joke. I would say I would tell you to die alone, but the joke is, and then he punches. He says the joke is that you can't die, and the joke is on us. And when he says that, he punches the ceiling of the car. And the joke is it's all on us. It's like, yeah.
What I really
in
liked
isolation, I really enjoyed that little rant. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna actually tag onto that. Is I really like that having Deadpool say I'm gonna fight you now, and then them actually fighting. It didn't do the Marvel thing of like, hey, here's a serious moment, and now let's turn it into a total fucking joke. Like Deadpool didn't make a joke there. He's just like, now we're fighting. Fuck you. And they do it, I think, a little later too with X-23, where I could have sworn Deadpool was gonna pop out and say something stupid, but they kind of let
Yes.
like an emotional moment hang, and I'm just like, wow,
That's something
they're doing it in the fucking comedy, but they don't do it in
Yeah, that's
the
something I noticed
mainline
as well.
MCU movies.
I wish it would be in a better movie when they do it as well. Because this is the movie where I expected like something silly to happen, but for some reason they decided to keep it straight at this point. I mean, that moment is still vapid and kind of nonsense in a way, because these two don't even fucking know each other, but it's well acted. It could be a really good scene in another movie. But yeah, I was surprised they kept it straight as well.
I think we don't know like how long they've been walking, like to get to the Borderlands. Like there could have been a lot of conversation between the two of them that we didn't see in the movie, that sort of helped build up to this.
Yeah, they could have talked a bit more in
Moment.
the car or whatever.
Yeah, and I wish in the movie there was more screen time dedicated to them just talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the diner would have been a great opportunity for that.
I was shocked that when I realized, like, wait, that's all in the diner. That's all the things I've seen in the trailer. It's like,
Yeah.
like I thought there would be some heft to it, some more meat on the bone, but no, that's it.
And I did quite enjoy the car fight, the bloodiness of it, them stabbing each other over and over, the blood all over the car, and the fact that they're probably both enjoying it to a degree. In fact, there's a shot where Wolverine is like, he's on his back looking up, and there's blood dripping on his face from Deadpool, and he's like laughing.
Right.
Like that felt like pure comic book bliss. Just that one tiny beat there, I was just like, holy fuck, that's Wolverine, man. This is cool. It reminded me of No Way Home, where Spider-Man and Green Goblin are fighting, and Peter jumps on him and he's just punching him, and Green Goblin just laughs, taking his punches, and it's actually quite eerie. And in that one little moment, you're just like, holy shit, like I am in this. Like this is comic book gold right here. It reminded me of that.
Yeah, best Honda Odyssey promotion. The Honda Odyssey Fox. No. So
And then having Deadpool wrapped in seatbelts at the end of the fight when they're just too tired to keep going. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I won't lie, there's things I enjoy in this movie. As I said, this is probably going to be a guilty pleasure movie of mine because I still find it entertaining in a bunch of parts.
Fun moments.
Yeah, I would rewatch this movie. I can't say that for every superhero movie.
Yeah.
Or any recent Marvel thing, actually. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. But, yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, when they're just sleeping, I guess, or unconscious, they get found by X-23 and get brought to the hideout, and this is where we get all the, I guess, the big-ish cameos, you could say.
Yeah, the three that they probably put the most thought into as far as like what they were actually going to do with them, or like, I mean, I guess the only other real one was Johnny Storm, and they just kind of kill him.
Yeah. Because I guess they were pretty close to the hideout and just get picked up in the car. And yeah, we got X-23, of course. We got Elektra from Daredevil, which I don't even fucking remember.
As well as her very, very bad solo film, Elektra.
Oh, yes, shit, yeah, that did exist. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
See, I forgot about that completely.
It's not as good as Daredevil, which, Daredevil's not amazing either. But...
in my theater, I don't think anyone recognized Elektra. I might have been the only one.
Oh, really?
Or maybe, yeah.
It took
but
me
then Blade came along, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's Blade."
I don't really think about Elektra a whole lot in my day to day. But then Blade shot, I was like, "Excuse me?" That's just hilarious in general because, as I said, we just did all 3 Blade movies on Forges, which was just really fun. And seeing him there was definitely something I didn't expect. So. You know what? That was a key jangle I was happily here to accept just by the fact that we just watched all the Blade movies. It was just funny.
Yeah, it made me very happy too. I didn't see it coming at all, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Wesley, Wesley in the Blade suit again. Look at that."
I'm not immune to the key jangling, guys. It happens. Sometimes the clouds align. Sure, let's go with that. The clouds align.
I was really happy to see Blade because I don't remember Blade 2 so much. I remember Blade 3 was terrible. That's the only thing I remember about it. But I love the first Blade.
You'd be shocked how awful it is. Like you could put it into the MCU today, and it would be one of the worst ones. Like honestly,
Trinity though, Blade 2, I think you'll probably like. Blade 2 is good.
I did see Blade 2. It's totally blank in my brain for some reason.
The one with the Reaper vampires, the ones where their chins open too.
Yeah,
directed it
with the Reapers.
I remember watching Blade 2 and I was confused. Like, didn't they kill Chris Christopherson in the first movie? I was
that's it's a massive retcon.
Was Blade the first Marvel
Successful
movie?
Marvel movie, yes. There
Yeah.
there were other, like, there was a Captain America TV movie, I
Mhm.
believe, as well as a Fantastic Four Roger Corman movie. Actually, I can't really think of a whole lot of other Marvel movies. I guess there was Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
Right.
What really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
It's not a great movie, but it's violent. Like
What
it
year
doesn't
was
fuck
that?
around. 88 maybe, something around
Oh
that time.
wow.
Anyway, but yeah, Blade is here, and Gambit, which is, I guess, funny because he never had his own movie or showed up properly, and he's like, I would have saved all these people as well. I may have been born here. Also, you have like a little back and forth with a Blade, and a Deadpool is like, I don't like you, and it's like, oh, you never did, which is just kind of fun. There's also a part where Deadpool says to him, I thought you were retired. He's like, retarded. I didn't expect
Retired.
It's
I
great.
didn't expect him to just say like, I'm retarded. And Deadpool just says, see, and then it's like Deadpool just puts another thing on. It's like, I think they should have just stopped there. They shouldn't have gone any further with the joke. I think it would have been perfect if they would stopped there. It's like, just going there. But then he goes like, oh, I don't want to be cancelled anymore. And it's like, oh, we didn't need that one. I think that was a little too much. Not horrible, but I think it would have been perfect if it would have just stopped with him saying like, I'm retarded.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that made me laugh. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
And then yeah, they have like, I don't even know what was going on with Elektra. Apparently, yeah, Daredevil was killed, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, "Oh, it's fine." But yeah,
that's a meta joke about them being
Yeah.
married and divorcing.
Yeah, that's the joke.
oh, what?
Oh right, because Ben Affleck was Daredevil. I forgot. I
Yeah.
forgot. about
Yeah.
that.
See, I just didn't even. I don't even know that. So okay.
I thought he did a pretty good job as Daredevil. It wasn't a very good movie though. That's the problem. I really like Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin too.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we have some. So basically, they've been fighting Cassandra, but all of them got killed one by one, apparently. And then we have some jokes about Johnny Storm, how he's just been going over his mouth, and he got killed by her. And then there's a joke that Gambit's accent is barely understandable. It's like, it's like, yeah, it's kind of amusing, I guess.
I mean, that is the Cajun accent. It's it can be tough if the person has a happy one.
That's like the go ahead.
Oh, wait, I totally wasn't sure what that accent was, or if Channing even did any training for it, like probably deliberately, because they wanted it to sound goofy. And so Ryan was probably just, I don't know, just don't practice it at all. Just improvise it completely. It'll be funny.
Right.
It's basically Quebec mixed with Southern states. Like Quebec
Right.
French mixed with Southern American.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was French Canadian at
mean,
least in part. Yeah.
And well, do you know what Cajun is derived from?
I actually don't. Yeah, the term.
Canadian. They're the Cajuns.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And they were
I did not
the
know
French
that.
Canadians that came down and settled in the southern U.S., like the Louisiana.
Right. Huh.
Well.
And that is like in terms of the comic book character origin, he is like a French Canadian character, right? Gambit or no?
No,
think
he's
so.
Cajun. He's from
Okay,
Louisiana.
okay, you got. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, they've been fighting Cassandra, and when they hear, it's like, wait, you got out of there? That's crazy. Everyone died. It's like, well, maybe those two can help us to finally get her and fight, because we never got the chance to fight for our universes. Blah blah blah, yada yada, and maybe we can get an ending, which of course means it's like a meta commentary that they never got to properly finish the franchises or whatever. And yeah, someone already in chat is like, when it was like, why is X-23 even here? Why was she pruned? And it's like, I
Yeah,
have
that makes
no
no sense at
fucking
all.
idea. because it's heavily implied
Especially
that
if Logan, if the Logan and Deadpool universes are supposed to be the same, and we're dealing with the destruction of that universe as the
Yes.
main threat, knowing it isn't destroyed, there's no reason she should be there.
yeah, because the
Unless
way
she's
she
a
talks
different
about
X-Men.
Logan,
Oh,
pretty good,
right.
the way she talks about Logan is like,
Huh.
oh, she's basically talking about the same one that we know from the movie, which does make sense because that universe still exists as far as we know. But yeah, that's just all really silly. She barely has any talking lines here anyway. Like the next scene we get is like, it's like, oh yeah, we go there and it's like, yeah, everyone's like hyped up, and then Wolverine says like, you're all fucking dead. And then we cut to the scene that the basically also seen in the trailers. There's not a lot more to it here as well. It's just like, oh, I don't want any company. It's like, oh, I'm here because of you. You're a good man, even if you don't know it. Blah blah blah. And then he goes on his thing. He's like, he gives us the backstory basically. It's like, when I came back, they all died. When I came back from my drinking binge, they all died, and now I'm in guild, and now this suit is my memory of them.
I'm an X-Men now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
And yeah, again, in isolation, this is a pretty well made scene. Like, it's well acted. I mean, Hugh Jackman like always kills it in this role. But these
He
two
took it as seriously as he possibly could. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. But it's just built on nothing really, because these two don't know each other. I don't know why he would open up to her at all, just because he saw the one picture of Deadpool's friends, and now the girl is kind of talking to him. It's like, okay. I don't think that's gonna get rid of all your fucking year-long trauma and drinking. That's just this scene only works on a meta basis because we know these two interacted in a Logan movie and everybody loved that shit. And they
Yeah, I mean, I would almost make the argument the majority of this movie only works on a meta basis.
that's actually true. Yeah.
Yeah, and scenes like that one are constructed based just on the surface elements. It's just like we want to have these two characters in a scene together following Logan,
Yeah.
and we want Wolverine in the suit, which I understand the backstory, but I don't buy the practicality of him actually putting the suit on and always having it on underneath his clothes. Like, I just don't. I'm not convinced he would do that, but I get it. It's like you want him in the suit. You want to see him in the yellow cool suit from the cartoons and the comics, which I have to admit, like, it's cool seeing him in the suit. And I do like
the also has his traps built into it too for this movie.
I do like the first part of his backstory too, where like the X-Men had all their uniforms on and they wanted him to put it on, and he's like, I told him they all looked fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
No
thought,
way.
like, that's cool. I buy that. I believe
No
Wolverine.
way,
would do that.
losers. It's like,
Yeah.
Wolverine's
I'm gonna
like,
go
away,
drinking.
yeah. I'm too cool for that shit.
Yeah.
But really, Wolverine secretly wanted to be part of the club.
Yeah, he goes out, it's like, this looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
Oh god. But yeah, well acted, but it's built on nothing, pretty much. But yeah, she tells him, it's like, we're going tomorrow morning. It's like, it's not my fight. I'm not gonna come, and he will join, of course.
Yeah, they spoiled that in the trailer.
It's true. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they drive up in the Honda Odyssey. We have like Blade and everyone here. They have a big rocket launcher, which apparently is Punisher's rocket launcher, which I'm just like, yeah, okay, mentioned Punisher, good job.
Punisher mentioned, and it's like,
and then we get like a huge fight scene with all 5 of them. It's like they all have like tons of plot armor. They don't get shot. They slice up. Everyone gets to slice up people. It's a big spectacular fighting thing. It's like, woohoo.
To be fair, I was super
Metal.
happy they didn't all just immediately died, because I thought there was a strong chance that was going to happen. I was like, no, please don't
Metal.
have Blade shoot the
Yes.
rocket launcher, get out, and then immediately get his head cut off or something. Please.
Yeah.
Metal and
Yeah.
Mark
I
was
and
very
John.
happy they
I have a particular note here, and this when I was watching it, it's like
Go ahead.
Blade got a highlight action scene Gambit had a highlight action scene, but when we get to fucking Elektra, she has like what 5 seconds of screen time when during her fight scene, and she was so awkward. She was so slow when she was moving around.
Well, I think
She-
Channing Tatum and Wesley Snipes probably have a better time like adapting to action choreography than
Yeah, it's so
than
funny.
Jennifer Garner might if she's not like on a show like Alias or something.
Like
I think
okay,
it's
let's
easier
reverse
to
this
do.
second.
I think it's easier to do special kills with the other ones because like they have the devices that they have. Like Blade
She's
has
got
that.
size.
Fair.
They could
Yeah.
have her stabbing people's eyes out and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
It's. I mean, the Blade's like boomerang blade thing. You can do a cool thing with that. Like Gambit, his cards, like he has special energy cards that can do cool shit. But Elektra, it's just sort of. What do you call those? Like little tridents,
No,
or
they're
something?
size, yeah. They're
Size.
size, yeah.
Scythes. Okay.
Sai.
S-A-I.
S-A-I, yeah.
Oh, size. Okay.
like
Yeah.
Raphael's weapon.
Right. Yeah. I just didn't know what they were called. But yeah, it's just like there's nothing like magical about them or anything, you know, or like energy powered. That's just you just stab people. I don't know. I guess she could have thrown it into somebody's eye or something. I don't know.
Well, like that's the
Like-
thing for with the R rating. I think that you could have done some cool stuff with the size. I think just Jennifer Garner probably didn't want to do a whole lot of action scenes. Is my
Probably.
guess.
Right. Yeah,
like
that
bitch.
that could be it.
Yeah. But they get like Blade uses his gun. He does like some of the poses. He slices some peeps
He
up.
smiles a couple times too.
Yeah.
We got
Says
some
the
Wesley Snipes
line.
Yeah.
smiles.
He says the line.
he says the line.
Yeah, he felt-
keep saying
I was-
uphill.
I didn't know how I felt about him saying that line. I was like, huh, well,
That was like super key.
yeah. I
jangly.
mean,
It's like, that
it's a
is, like,
great line, but also
doesn't
I
really
don't know.
fit
I
here.
I thought giving us a new one, like a new Wesley Snipes one-liner,
Yeah.
I think would have been nice.
Say the line, Blade.
Yeah, say the
Fine.
line, Blade.
More funny would
Should've
just
bit
said it.
someone.
Imagine he would have
Should've
It
just
is one of the most
straight up
famous
said like a.
improvised lines ever.
Yeah.
Imagine he would have just straight up said like a slur. Just anyone. This was funny.
That would be funny,
Oh
actually.
god,
yeah.
it would make the blooper reel so funny. Like they probably just have just a bunch of Wesley Snipes trying to throw out a one-liner, and he just says the N-word and a whole bunch of.
It's like all the things you definitely can't put in the movie. But yeah, just they did this big old action scene. Wolverine and Deadpool go to Cassandra. So basically, the team keeps the mobs busy while Wolverine and Deadpool go to Cassandra. Yeah, he says the line, and I don't know, just whatever. It's a they get to fight. It's a step over just showing them in the background, I guess. They do to get their trademark things a little bit, and that's it. They keep talking about how they get their ending. It's like you just get to fight a little bit. I mean, it's not much of an ending if you ask me, but I'm happy for the actors that they get to do another part, I guess. That's nice for them.
Well, and the first one ever in Channing Tatum's case.
That's true, yeah. His beginning and ending.
There was
got
one Gambit on film in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but it was Taylor Kish, the guy who was in John Carter.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, Deadpool gets yeeted into a wall. Cassandra gets into Logan's head. And this is also where we learned that he killed bad humans and more because he was so angry that he didn't want to stop and killed innocent people in his rage, which made the people even more angry against all the mutants and X-Men. And yeah, this is why he's the worst Wolverine. Not that he just like, I don't know. We went over this. We don't need to do it again. X-23 is fighting the Juggernaut outside because they need their helmet, because it works like Magneto's helmet in this instance, and keeping like the powers to herself, trapping
Was
them.
that always the case?
I have
Like in the comics,
no
that
clue. I have no
shielding?
idea.
Okay.
No, I think
Well,
the power is just mind reading. The block is against mind reading. What they do here is just like a power, a mutant power nullifier for whatever for plot reasons, I imagine.
Well, I guess it's like her powers in her brain, but like the thing that always makes no sense about that, and it was the same thing with the friggin' force blocking power in the Acolyte. It's like, is her mental power not accessible through her neck and body? Like, I mean,
Apparently
it's
not.
like,
Yeah.
like, is it actually airtight there? Because I don't think it is. Like the whole bottom and face is open. I feel like she could probably,
Yeah.
go through her eyes.
X-Men 2000 was the first time that Magneto's helmet was established to block Xavier's powers. Yeah, but we don't have that one. We need to use the Juggernaut's one. They make sure to tell us like, no, Magneto was killed and she melted the helmet. So they use, apparently the Juggernaut's helmet is works the same.
I can't confirm or deny. I'd never heard that before. Now I just thought they were making it work on the same rules as Magneto's. But
Someone chat
even
says
then, I don't think
Juggernaut's,
Magneto's helmet would necessarily like nullify Professor X.
Someone in chat says Juggernaut's helmet can do that. So yeah, that might be
Okay.
there. Always blocks telepathy. Okay, so I guess that works. Maybe, I don't know. It seems to be canon now, or even comic book canon. I don't know.
It makes sense to prevent Xavier from taking control of Juggernaut and just fucking wrecking everything. But then I guess shouldn't everybody have a helmet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, all villains kind of would need one. It's like otherwise it's just like a roll Professor X out, and you can just be like, go to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just,
Professor
it's
X's
that
thing is
meme.
like he's ethical about his powers, right? So like
Yeah.
he won't even like control villains because it's like a free will argument or something. I don't know. He doesn't want to impede on that, even if it's like villainous characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna share a meme where it's like the Dragon Ball meme where Vegeta and Goku are like, "Oh, I'm gonna take the 200 on the right, and you'll take the 200 on the left," and it's the whole Marvel universe. And then there's a cut to Professor X just using his powers, and the last panel is Goku and Vegeta making out.
Yeah, I
That's just-
saw that meme too. It's a funny meme, yeah. But yeah, X-23 kills the Juggernaut, throws the helmet up there.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
Juggernaut had a better fight scene here than Sabretooth did.
It's more nailed. It's true.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Sabretooth deserved better than that, getting
Yeah.
his head chopped off.
Maybe the guy was old and tired. It's like, can we just cut my head off and I'll take my paycheck?
yeah.
You know what? That's true. Sometimes shit like that does happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, while she's digging around in Logan's brain, Deadpool picks up the helmet and puts it on her head, and it's like, "Oh, you need to bring us back now." It's like, "No, I can only do that if you take off the helmet." It's like, "Oh, well, you're gonna kill us then." So it's like a whole dilemma. But then, I completely skipped over the short part where Paradox has a call with the henchman of Cassandra. It's like, make sure
Pyro.
she dies. So they have like interdimensional Skype devices or something. So he pops up now and shoots her in the belly for like 4 or 5 times. Pyro, that's his name. Thank you. And he's like, "Oh man, damn it!" And then Logan is all of a sudden, "Oh, I'm gonna do it for Xavier. I really want to kill her, but he wouldn't like that." So they take off the helmet, and save her life because
And
Logan
I'm
wants
just
to
gonna
be a good man
continue.
now.
I'm just gonna continue the thread that John said. This works on a meta level because we don't establish any fucking flashback scene. We don't even get that with this Wolverine, that he had a heart-to-heart talk with Cyclops or Beast or Professor X. You just know that meta wise it will work like that because he's the wrong guy until he doesn't activate the plot hero power. And so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also tells us like, "Oh, if Xavier knew you would be here, which he didn't, he would definitely save you and do everything to do it."
no,
or
that's
whatever.
bullshit. That's bullshit because in the comics, he's the one that tried to kill her because he sensed how powerful of a threat she was in her when they were babies. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well,
So I don't know, just emotional shit once again. So I'm just putting it out there.
but yeah, the henchman gets knocked out, and it's like, "Okay, I'll spare you." And then, it's like, "How do you get us out?" It's like, "Well, I found a fling ring once upon a time. I'm gonna use that with the powers I learned, or maybe sucked out of the strange man's mind, and now I can use the powers somehow. And also, they can now, the fling ring portals, they can now go through different universes as well, because we need this thing to be even more powerful, as it already is.
The fling ring was so wedged in. Like, if you're gonna have a device like that, I think you need to set it up earlier. Like, I don't know, just do something with it, because it feels too abrupt the way it just. Oh, I've got this thing. Don't worry, guys. Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
We can get to the next scene. Cool.
Yeah, another very convenient thing. And it's like, well, I'm gonna get you out of here, but you have like a couple seconds. Plus, Eliav is now here again because I guess he's hungry again for specific sacrifices by her, and so this is actually kind of weird. All the cameos are still downstairs fighting. They jump through the portal back to, I don't know, downtown LA or whatever the fuck, wherever they are. All of the cameo people are still down there, and I have to assume they all got eaten. But X-23 is later in Deadpool's house.
Yep.
They get her in there. So what happened to the other? How did they survive? Did they not get eaten? It's fucking nonsense.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Okay.
Vibes movie. This is a vibes movie.
This is a vibes movie. You're ruining the vibes, Mootle.
We can't not have Logan and X-23 having a good time at the end when everything's fine. Let's just shove her in.
But we don't see any of the other ones anymore. They, as far as I'm concerned, they might be dead. I don't fucking know. But yeah, they. So this is also funny because she opens a portal, which is exactly where they need to be, because this is also where they place the Time Ripper, like in the subway station. And they are immediately like, oh no, they're here, damn it. That's annoying. And the Paradox guy tries to stop them. He's like, no, fuck off. I think he tells him to piss off or something, which is definitely not gonna work. But while that is happening, Cassandra talks to the henchman. It's like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? It's like, well, this Paradox guy, he wanted me to kill you because he's scared of you, blah blah blah. And then she's like, oh, that's annoying. I'm going to go there now and kill him. And I also now want to destroy every single universe, want to play God because you tried to kill me.
Yeah, the villain's motivations here are so fucking... it's so generic. It's like refreshing. It's like it works also on a meta level. You need these guys to be evil just because. Like Cassandra Nova says she likes it in the void because she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Then suddenly, on a whim, she knew that the TVA had an unwritten rule, and now she's gonna fuck everyone over and make sure that the void is the only thing here. Yeah, Where did this come from?
She even says like, oh, I think this void thing, it's paradise. I can do whatever I want and use my powers as I like. And now she's like, I'm gonna destroy all of the universes until only the void is left. It's like, huh? What? Why?
It doesn't make. Yeah, exactly. No, because we wouldn't have the finale with the Deadpool core and the it's so flimsy.
It's being held together with Scotch tape. Let's face it.
Yeah. What does stuff that gets spat out into the void? Is that from destroyed timelines and universes?
Franchises, specifically movie franchises.
Yeah, destroyed timelines and
studios only. Yeah,
and apparently everything that gets pruned that gets here. So yeah, that's it's a whole thing. But okay, who cares?
So destroying all the timelines wouldn't just dump an infinite amount of crap into the void.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing. I don't even know if the rule applies to this thing now. You know, it's like this. So it's like I don't, because this is the spaghettification of the universes. It's not the pruning. So it's the other thing they do, which is different from the pruning. I think, even though the outcome is the same. I don't know. My head hurts.
It's kind of like how they spaghettified Reed Richards and what was it?
They do the same thing with whole worlds and universes in Loki. They turn into spaghetti. But the spaghetti also evaporates, so there's nothing left on the floor after. So
I'm sick and tired of this Italian cultural appropriation,
That's
and
true,
I
man.
demand it stops.
I hate this. I hate these spaghetti hate crimes. But Cassandra's also like, okay, I'm gonna go down there. You're gonna show me how this works. But I brought the Deadpool Corps, so you have to fight them so we don't get interrupted, because apparently they also work for her now. They mentioned the Deadpool Corps earlier. Like Nicepool tells him about this. Like, oh, they're crazy. They want to fight all the time. But apparently they also work for Cassandra. And now all these Deadpools come out as yeah.
Yep.
Well, first the dog comes out again. It's like, oh, the dog, slow mo. It's like, yeah, fuck off.
Same
Yeah,
reaction.
yeah,
And then
Oh,
then
that's
Nicepool comes out. It's like, ah, my bad. I'm gonna take her now. And it's like, oh no, there's all the other Deadpools. And then there's like the joke where he grabs Nicepool, and hides behind him. He gets like shot, and he's like, okay, how long
When
does
he
it take
starts
for you
saying
to?
him, he's like, "You're gonna live." Say it. I did laugh. At that.
No, it's also funny. Like I can do the fourth wall thing too, and then he looks awkwardly at the camera. The proposal.
I didn't understand why he said the proposal, just because it was
No, it's
nonsense.
a movie that he did. He like he's just
Oh, okay.
trying to prove.
I actually
that
didn't
he
catch
can
that
do-
either.
Yeah, he's just trying to prove that he can do it. But like Deadpool chastises him, saying that's not how it works. You're just doing it willy nilly, and
Oh.
it's like,
Oh, that's a movie from 2009, a comedy romance.
it's-
no
it's
wonder
a-
I had no
a
idea what
pandas.
it was.
yeah, it
Panned
was him
rom-com,
and
yeah.
Sandra Bullock, I think.
Yeah. Yes. I only
Yeah.
know that because I just Google it. Is that what you think I do?
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, he
Using
gets, like,
Nicepool as a human shield was pretty funny. I thought.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, how long does it take for you to regenerate? You're just like, regenerate? Like, oh, good, you're really
Yeah.
the dumbest motherfucker there is, says
And
Wolverine.
it's funny that the other Deadpool people just don't give a fuck. They just shoot him. But when
Yeah.
Wolverine walks with the dog, they don't shoot Wolverine.
And it's like, oh, what a nice doggo.
Because
Yeah.
everyone
You
loves
don't
the
shoot the dog, yeah.
Yeah, don't dog.
But then
That was pretty
Deadpool,
funny.
and then Deadpool goes like, "Oh, there's like a donut shop. It's basically like a hospital. They have like things there." And it's like, "That's not a thing." And then he goes over there, like everyone shoots Nicepool in the back, and he stops midway. It's like, "Why are we stopping?" He was like, "Why don't you take a break? You're not helping me at all." It's just because I'm paralyzed.
He's shot like 50 times in the spine at this
Yeah.
point.
It's like, "Say it back. You will live. I'll live." And then his head explodes. And it's like, oh, "Okay."
I liked his delivery as Nicepool on it because he seemed like genuinely excited, like
Yeah,
he
it's like,
believed.
I'm gonna live.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
in
got
like a
in trouble with
naive
that.
sort of way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So he definitely did
I
that
liked-
on purpose.
earlier on, like he only takes a few bullets at first, and then he's placed down behind the car, and
Mhm.
with a mouthful of blood, he spits it out and says, "I think I'm dying."
No,
Yeah,
I think
that
I'm
was-
hit. Like,
Something like that. Yeah, that was so funny.
yeah.
Oh my god, I did freak out in the theater when we get to the next scene where they fight the Deadpool Corps and Wolverine fucking puts on the mask. It's like, oh my god, this is it. And, oh shit.
So
Yeah,
that
it's actually
activated
cool.
neurons for me. I'm not even have like a
Very
huge
crowd-pleasing.
connection to Wolverine, but it just looked cool. I have to admit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know
crazy
why
they
it was
didn't do it
CGI though. I don't know
before
why
that.
they had like a proper mask.
That was dumb. Yeah.
That was weird.
I think they wanted his eyes to emote the way Deadpool and Spider-Man's do in the MCU. Or, I mean, in modern movies, I guess. Now in the MCU, this is going to get confusing to talk about. But
Yes.
yeah, I think they would have been fine if that was just a normal mask. Because the comparison to Batman, I think, was apt too. Because it's like, man, like we had Batman movies in '89, and no one was like, "Oh, Batman's mask looks so dumb." So like, why wouldn't?
Yeah.
Oh, they made a
Wolverine
joke
get
about
suit?
it. It's like Deadpool says, right? Like it's like Batman's mask, but it actually moves. With
Yeah,
his
but he
head
can
or
turn
something
his
like
neck.
that.
Yeah.
I think he's been able to turn his head since Dark Knight, though. So that was a bit of a dated joke. It was true up until Batman Begins. Like Batman Begins, he still could not move his neck. So when Batman looks up, he sort of turns at the hip and then rotates his entire torso upwards.
Yeah.
I don't. If there were parts where the whole mask was CGI, honestly, it wasn't noticeable to me. And I figured for the pupils, at least they would do it CGI because I think you have to in order to, like Mark was saying, like to do like the sort of squinting
Hmm.
and sort of subtle emoting with the white eyes. You have to do that.
I guess
Um,
my argument would be though I don't think Hugh Jackman would need that to emote through that mask. Like I think he's
Yeah.
good enough. Like you don't. We've
Mhm.
seen enough people deliver lines well as Batman or like Dread is often one that's brought up of where you never actually see Carl Urban's face in the movie. And I don't know. I just think the CGI emotes I didn't think were necessary. They make more sense for Deadpool because he's so cartoony.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Spider-Man, I guess they try to explain it with the Stark tech. Like
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
they're like lenses more so than
yeah.
just.
So like I mean,
yeah.
at least they tried to give that an explanation, so I at least appreciate that much. But yeah, I didn't think it was necessary for Wolverine at all.
Yeah. I would have liked to
Right.
seen a proper mask. Imagine the merch you could have
What-
sold, you fools.
I mean,
Was
they're
there-
probably still gonna
They're
sell
Oh,
probably
they're
still
still gonna sell
merch.
merch. They're
Yeah.
still gonna sell, definitely.
The actor doesn't get a mask, but everyone else gets one for $50.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
Was there not any shot with a practical version of the mask, like even in the
There
subway
was
tunnel?
probably a few, but anytime he was delivering dialogue, they'd have his eyes moving.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, then we got the big CGI Deadpool fight, like all the Deadpool fights, which I don't know, it's kind of fun. There's lots of gore, which I always kind of enjoy.
Oh, it's funny. Blake Lively voices Lady Deadpool, but she's
Yeah.
not the actress who played it.
Oh, really? She's only. Oh,
Yeah,
that
it was-
sucks.
So that's
It was an uncredited stunt woman, but she just used. It's just her voice.
Man, that seems so strange. It's like
Yeah,
what? You couldn't get your wife out for a day?
no.
Like, are you serious?
Oh no! You know what he did? He paid her for the full work day, but she didn't need to appear because he has that pull. I think. Like it's
I
his
don't know.
production company, right? Like,
I think that's probably why they never. I mean, it's exactly why they never showed her face. But I kind of thought, especially the Blake Lively thing, because of all the meta humor in the movie, I figured Lady Deadpool was gonna pull her mask off and he was gonna say something about how hot she is or something.
and no, I just realized it's stupid that she's not in the film because Ryan Reynolds' kids are playing the kid pool and the baby pool.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
I don't. Yeah, so I don't know
Yeah,
why
their
Blake
mom
isn't
couldn't be
there.
bothered to show up.
Yeah.
Well, Swalpole says that he thinks.
You couldn't have came for that same day, clearly.
Well, Swalpole says apparently she might be working on a movie currently herself.
Oh.
Well, but I mean, with
Oh.
all the reshoots that happen in Marvel movies, it's like, what do you mean you can't find a day to get this girl in front of a volume? Like,
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, they
in
do
regard-
like the big fight from left to right. They just follow them around. There's like two things I noticed in here. There's one Deadpool that just shoots at himself in the bus,
Oh, what?
and another Deadpool just trips and breaks his neck on the car.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of subtle jokes in that one shot, like individual Deadpools doing various things
Mm.
that I really appreciated. And also, credit to Hugh Jackman, man. The dude's like at 55, I think. And
Yeah.
like he's jumping around, he's like doing all those punch movements. There's wire work, obviously. He's suspended. That takes off some of the work, but like he's like that must have been fucking exhausting doing that. I mean, and how many takes they might have done to like perfect that or maybe it was like multiple shots stitched together.
Well, there
but,
was
like,
a lot of CGI. Like a lot of the things were CGI in that one. So I don't know how much
Yeah,
they
you-
actually did. I'm not sure. I would need to really go
we
through that scene
we
with a
need to
fine
see
comb.
we need to see it behind the scenes probably to know for sure. But there was definitely a lot of real people involved in that fight.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
That was not like an Iron Man versus some monster kind of fight.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I
I-
appreciated that I could see the whole fucking thing.
Yes,
I was like, oh,
the action
good,
was
look at
clear.
this. A nice, crisp, clear action scene where I can tell what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate how hard Hugh pushed himself for this, despite his age.
Yeah.
And I think he
He's
aged
55.
quite nicely into the role. Like
Yeah.
I watched his like footage of him in the old X-Men movies, and it's like, God, he looks so young there. I didn't think that he looked young back then, but looking at him, it's like, fuck, that's like a young Wolverine. But now it feels like he's almost maybe
He's 55.
yeah. He looks like he's aged really well into the role. Like his age looks appropriate for the character more now than he did in
Well,
the
'cause
original
When he was-
movies, you know?
Oh
He-
yeah, I get it.
Jojo, he aged very rugged, which works
Yeah.
for Wolverine quite well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
And then they have like the big pose out of the bus, and Wolverine looks like really bad there.
Oh yeah, this is
when
the idle animation Wolverine. Yeah.
idle animation Wolverine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a thing of that online yet, unfortunately. But
I posted it in our chat. You can look at it later.
oh wait, did you? Hang on, because
Yeah, I did.
I totally pull it up on stream.
I
Oh no, where's my
think
mouse?
It's here. It's the Sam one. It's quote retweeting the Wolverine pose. Yeah. So,
Oh, I thought this was just a picture. Okay, hang on. This is perfect, actually. Oh god, this is awful. Hang on. Where's my OBS? There we go. Because that was like, even in the cinema, was like, that looks gross. Let's see here.
Oh, John and I have 17 minutes.
Oh fuck, right.
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys leaving? Oh.
And
Yeah,
we
gotta
have
jump.
a thing to do. Do you know if
Alright.
it's pre-recorded or is it going to be live? I don't know what to tell people.
I do not know. I
I-
don't always said either way.
I mean, I can't tell you because I'm not
Alright.
invited.
Well, it's
Well, maybe you should watch more House of the Dragon.
I watched House of the Dragon.
Oh, did you?
Of course.
Alright.
Okay, Chad, here you go.
Good show.
This is the shot. So they jump out, and yeah, this is what Wolverine does. He just stands there in this idle animation.
yeah. Like it's like an NPC.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Is that all CG? Like, is that Hugh actually doing that?
No, that's
like,
complete CG.
doing-
He's not moving like a human at all. Like he's just standing there in an idle position. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Well, I was wondering, like, is that the actor, but he's told to move like an NPC, basically? Like,
No.
why
It's
the
the
fuck would they do that?
actor's likeness in Unreal Engine 5.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not great. As that, even in the cinema was like, oh, nasty. But yeah, that's a thing. Okay, well, let's just spitball. We talked about most things already. Like we just
Well, we got the ending though with the Madonna song and the cables.
Yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
guess
Oh,
that's kind of the only big scene that we haven't because we got to the end of the Deadpool versus Deadpool's versus Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well,
fight.
obviously all the Deadpools regenerate, and then Peter Pool comes around, and they're like, "Yo, look, it's
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
Peter."
Peter.
And for some
Everyone
reason,
loves
they
Peter,
don't work for
yeah.
Cassandra then anymore because it's like he's a legend in every universe. And then they're like, "Yeah, okay, right." And then they go there.
I appreciated that there was an effort to tie in the Deadpool movies to this finale in some way, and like because Peter is like a Deadpool 2 character that I thought was kind of a funny character when he was in Deadpool 2, and I thought they used him sparingly enough in this that he was fun.
Yeah, it was
But,
retarded though.
Well, I mean the whole movie is like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was like,
The
"Yo, it's
build-
Peter. Let's just not do
I'm trying
our
to give
job
them credit
anymore."
for doing that aside of other things they could have done that would have been worse. And I don't know. I think I appreciated that it tried to actually be a sequel for a bit because often when you get a third movie being a multiverse thing, it just kind of forgets what the other two even were.
Right. Where's my
The
frames?
build up to the big sacrifice thing. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche now, where you have like two characters sort of fighting over who
will
sacrifices
sacrifice.
themselves. It's sort of like Hawkeye and what's her name on that
Yeah,
Getting
Scarlet Witch.
Souls.
Oh
gem.
no, sorry, Black Widow. Shit,
Black
Scarlett
Widow.
Johansson.
Yeah, but I did enjoy the dialogue in that. I like that the bro moment that they had there.
Mhm.
I thought was done well enough, and
Yeah.
then the
So,
moment of the
for anyone-
big electric blow up scene happens, and then his shirt bursts off, and you see his abs. It
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was funny.
undercutting the whole sentiment of it. I thought worked pretty well.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I have a question. Why didn't they just shoot Cassandra when she was doing the thing? I was thinking of that now.
Yeah, it's none of it makes sense in that
Yeah.
regard.
Yeah, just shoot her while she's why the fuck not? Just
Cut the power to
shoot
the
her.
building.
Well,
She's
without her,
distracted.
without the helmet, she just doesn't care that she gets shot. She just regenerates herself, right?
Fair. You're right.
Because I was thinking about that as well. It's like, couldn't you just do this? Like, oh, they don't have a helmet anymore. Maybe they could just. I mean, I don't know why they can't just cut off the arm thingies she's in, and then that doesn't
Yeah.
work anymore.
Will she regenerate?
Throw a
Yeah, but
grenade
why
in the
does-
room. It'll destroy the machine. She clearly
Yeah.
needs the machine.
Why does it? After the machine explodes, why doesn't she just regenerate back to life? Or is it because only Wolverine and Deadpool can do that because of whatever reason? I don't know.
No.
They
Or
heal
will she
better
be
than
back?
her. Deal
Yeah.
with it.
Okay. Again, the so if anyone was not aware, so they have to bridge a thing between like a matter and antimatter thing, but it's like so
Which,
powerful
off the bat,
Yeah.
insane.
that
Like,
it's
that's
like,
not-
oh, if you do that, you can't even
You'll be
regenerate
deleted.
yourselves. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure. But because it's two of them, it's fine. So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
right.
Deadpool said a combination of Wolverine and Deadpool makes them indestructible. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and like the idea of they're both the R-rated X-Men characters. Deadpool's the antimatter of it. Wolverine's the matter. There's the serious one and the one that's a big joke. So like it's
Oh.
like everything in this movie is ultra meta. Like none of
Oh.
it makes sense within the context of being this story. Hardly at all. But like
Yeah,
I don't know.
because
I
even,
guess I see what their point was.
even their bro
Yeah.
moment is like, it's like, oh yeah, that's nice and all, but you barely interact with each other. You're not friends. Like, not even, you're not. I'm sorry, you're really not.
The matter antimatter comparison is interesting, and also on a level of metaphor where it's just like if you work together, like you can overcome anything, sort of thing. Like I get that. That's fine,
Yeah,
I
I
guess. But yeah,
understand.
if you try to analyze it, it's
Yeah.
just dumb.
I mean, I also understand what they're going for, but it's just, again, it's just a fart. It's like, yeah, I understand, but it didn't do the work. It didn't
but
do work
it's
for it.
ultimately not all that good. Like it's just like, well, yeah, okay, fine.
yeah.
But yeah, we have the whole thing. The time Ripper goes boom. They do the thing. It's also funny because we have B-15. They just look at their screens in TVA land. It's like, yeah, I guess that's gonna happen now. And they look all concerned. It's like, are you gonna do something? Are you just gonna
Yeah,
go
but-
inside and do anything? It's like, no, we're just
Yeah,
gonna watch it unfold.
It's fucked, right? It's fucked. They know that it's in the universe of Deadpool, and they just, I guess we're just gonna sit here and not do anything until after. It's like the
Right.
cops show up after the crime is committed, but
Yeah.
they know
Where
where
the hell's
crime is taking
Colossus?
place. Yeah.
Oh, he's just hanging out. He's doing cocaine.
Why don't they
with
just
the-
get
with Blind
Negasonic
Al.
Teenage Warhead to blow up the building? She could
Yeah.
absolutely do that. She just like
Colossus
creates
doesn't do
nuclear
superhero
explosions,
stuff
like,
anymore.
localized ones.
Colossus just goes to parties now and just stands comedically in very sort of ordinary human situations because it's funny.
It's like the meme. He's like in the corner. So they don't know I'm a mutant.
No, I was an X-Men.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just watching the thing, and as soon as it's fine, there's like, Paradox, do we know anything about this? It's like, fuck off. And obviously they do the little thing. It's like, they died. Hero's like, no, we're still here. We have arisen. And he just goes like, fuck.
It's kind of funny though. The delivery of the guy was good for me.
Yeah, he has
It's like-
some good line deliveries. Yeah.
Domino could have found some lucky solution if she were involved.
Yeah. But yeah, they both
Jojo,
live.
I
They
know
come
you
back.
love Domino.
People are
It's
horny
okay.
for Hugh Jackman / Wolverine, and it's like, put a
I mean, I
shirt
get
on.
it.
And then we get it's like B-15 immediately was like, well, let's get this Deadpool back into the void. And it was like, the fuck? Why? This is where he lives. This is where his universe is. And it's only
Yeah,
for the
Peter-
like, shouldn't it be Wolverine? He's the one who got brought here. Like, he's not from this universe. He's not even mentioned.
Or is the
Oh,
joke?
never
every
mind. What
Deadpool
did that
belongs
just do
the
to
void?
Wolverine's universe? Like, I
that's
don't know
just-
if it's always like.
Well, apparently nothing anymore, because incursions and shit like this, we just don't even account for anymore. We just forget those exist.
I just like they had such a good opportunity to just have this be the movie where Deadpool destroys the TVA, and then and the
Yes.
MCU is like, yeah, we're never mentioning that again. Just so you know, Deadpool
Yep.
killed it all. It's all been a cartoony joke the entire time, and now it's over.
Yeah, and also
Oh, yeah, and-
Peter
and-
comes down there and is like, "Oh, he's homegrown," or he's like, "Does he know what's going on? Why isn't even like confused. Like he takes us all very well.
Oh, maybe the Deadpool stole him.
Oh.
I don't know. Doesn't make sense anyway. So fuck it.
Yeah, and then she goes like, "Huh. Well, you've did
Oh.
something crazy because your universe is regenerating. Whatever you did saved your timeline, but also spared your universe from extinction." I was like,
What did they do? That's the weird thing.
That's the
to me.
thing.
Like,
I think that's supposed to be a joke. It's like, oh, you did something, so now it works. I wonder if that. I feel like that's also like a meta joke. It's like, yeah, you just did the thing, and now everything works out fine.
now there's a franchise for Deadpool.
Yeah.
You're gonna live.
It's so stupid. And it's like, and the Deadpool goes like, oh, can you like? There's like people in the void that help me. Can you do something for them? It's like, oh, let's see what I can do. Also, can you like change his timeline? Because there's some awful shit going on there. It's like, well, that awful shit made him do the thing today. There's nothing to fix. And apparently Wolverine's just fine with that. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't want my friends to live again if the option arises. It's just okay, yeah, whatever. And then something they fix.
Scotch tape, man. Scotch tape.
And then they just go
Yeah.
like, well, want to grab some shawarma or something? I was like, oh yeah, I could eat something. And it's like, oh, everything is fixed. And Wolverine chills out with them now, and X-23 is here, and it just hangs out, and incursions don't matter. The timeline is fine. He gets the girl. GG. It's kill me. I just don't. They're just like, yeah, whatever you did, everything is fine. Your timeline is regenerating. Nothing is going on. So I guess they reestablished an anchor being or something. Yeah, that's the movie.
Deadpool the
Especially in contrast with the ending of Logan, the attempt here to have like a nice ending for everybody, it's just too like you
Yeah.
can't really take it seriously.
Because
I mean, even on its own, you can't take it seriously, but especially in juxtaposition to the ending of Logan.
yeah, because Wolverine goes like, you probably won't see me again. It's like, hey, wait, and then he just goes with them home. So I guess they hang out now. Dude, what a household! They have like Colossus, Wolverine, Deadpool. Imagine the burglar coming in there. It's like, give me all your money. Oh, never mind. No, that's fine. No, I'm leaving.
You came to the wrong house.
Yeah. Oh, also he gets back with Vanessa as well, because I guess that was the thing. She was
Breaking them up in the first place is dumb. I hated that
agree.
they did that.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know why they
you
did
can
this.
you can think of another reason to motivate them than him that I want to win Vanessa back. Like we lost her in the previous one.
Yeah. There's like
Were they
broke up.
broken up in the second one at all?
No.
She gets
that's
killed.
That's the
in
thing. They
the
broke
first
them off
one, and the
off
second one.
camera, and apparently they've just been broken up for years. And she has another boyfriend now. It's like, why do they have to do this to every character?
No,
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know
mean.
what?
Everyone's
I-
deadbeat dad divorced and like.
He
I
applied
think this is
to
Seb
the-
Wells.
He applied to the he applied to the Avengers on the sacred timeline, gets rejected, goes back home to his timeline, and apparently he told Vanessa that's like, yeah, I went to another timeline. Like they're apparently all aware about like multiverse and stuff. Like all his friends apparently, the way they react to things at least. And
The last we
it
saw
broke
of
him.
her,
Hang on. It broke
Oh,
him.
sorry.
It broke him so much that he gets in trouble with his girlfriend, and he's like, "You're not even like your crazy doesn't match my crazy anymore. You just cringe now. So we're gonna break up now." It was like, oh, I guess that happened. Stupid.
yeah, like there's no
Yeah.
way they could have worked that out. No other way you could have motivated him, huh? Like none of that made sense. I hated what they did with Vanessa in this one.
No.
I blame Zeb Wells. He's a co-writer, and he destroyed Spider-Man in the recent run of Spider-Man, where he broke up MJ, and MJ hooks up with this other asshole whose name I forget, and
Yeah,
he's
like,
just so
why?
fucking unlikable.
Why do
And
people think
I
that's compelling?
Yeah, I don't. It's just cheap drama, actually. I
So
think
that
it'd
was-
be more
is that-
interesting if they fight for it, the relationship.
Was that John Jameson you're talking about?
No,
The
it's
boyfriend?
some annoying character they made up, and they even made adopted kids for them. They lived in some alternate dimension, and they found some kids there, and they're like a little family. And when they go back to the main dimension in the comics, the
Mhm.
MJ just decides to break up with Peter. It's a big fucking mess. It's disgusting.
Boy, oh boy.
I blame Zeb Wells. That's my headcanon. So
That's fair. But yeah, there you go. That's the movie. Well, if you two need to run away, I can wrap up here with Weekend real
No,
quick.
Mahler's given us a bit of time, so like we don't have to
Oh,
rush
okay.
this. Like
Okay.
we can talk a bit about the ending. And I actually wanted
Right.
to mention a couple things that I did like about the ending, just in isolation, on a on a surface level. I do like the image of. Also, funny enough, in contrast with the ending of Logan, I do like the idea of an alternate universe where Logan and X-23 are like just sat together having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like that the reason Ryan had the courage to reach out to Vanessa is because he took Logan with him to the party. Like he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just let Logan like walk down the street, and he's like just like, "Hey, come hang out with us for a bit before you go." Like I do kind of like that. And then because he brought Logan with him, Logan was the one to be like, "Give me the fucking dog." Like,
Yeah.
like talk to her.
Talk to
Right?
the girl.
I did like that beat there.
Right. Yeah. So it's just the whole thing is just with all
The whole thing is fucking ridiculous.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. It's just like with all the established things we have in the MCU, incursions and problems with timelines and things that are happening, and now we just have we have one timeline where they ripped out their Wolverine, which should be dying at some point of an incursion, and now we have two. Is it two? Yeah, it's two. It's like those two. Actually, it's probably just all of them because Deadpool did like time travel shenanigans before, so they should be fucked anyway. But now they have also two people from other dimensions or universes. Maybe Blade is running around here somewhere as well, and Gambit. I don't know. Maybe they've gotten eaten by Eliath. I don't fucking know.
I do have my fingers crossed on Blade, especially because I think Mahershala Ali has left the project. So it's like maybe just use Wesley.
I
Yeah, that would be
I don't
funny.
think I could take him being in
Well,
another bad
I don't know
movie.
what's going on with the Mahershala cast, but I remember that being a thing where it's just like, what's fucking happening with this Blade movie? And then I saw this Wesley Snipes cameo in this, and I was just like, oh, I guess it was in service of this.
No.
'Cause the-
It's just been a script disaster. They've
Yeah.
rewritten it like times from scratch.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just been a train wreck, and I think this happened pretty recently too. So I'm willing to bet it was likely the only reason they were. I'm gonna guess. Sorry, I shouldn't say the only reason. My guess would be that the reason why they would let this happen is because the Blade project is stalled and probably not happening for a long time. So it's like, okay, take a shot at it. Yeah, bring Wesley Snipes in, make fun of it. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I think I was actually Weekend tweeted this, if I'm not mistaken, where you were talking about them developing Blade and having trouble with the script, and you're just like, how fucking hard is it? Just have Blade,
Yeah.
have the evil vampires, and then he's torn between the humans and the vampires, have the king vampire, and then they have a fight. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's all you
fucking
have to
do
do.
that.
How hard is it? Like how
And
hard are
they've-
you making this script? It's like it's the most easy. It's the easiest script to make.
Yeah.
Just have
And
Blade do bullshit
well, also
fighting the boss. How hard is that?
Yeah.
Snipes actually
I mean,
though has experience with them fucking up a Blade movie by being like, oh, and let's also set up the Night Stalkers movie or whatever it was going to be, and
Right.
like, yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons there was so much tension on that set. But ultimately, it's just keep it simple. Blade, evil vampire, maybe with some new powers or something that make it kind of crazy. He fights it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look at 1 and 2. They're
It's-
very simple movies with just cool action. It works
Okay,
really well.
Marvel, I'm gonna give you this one for free.
Whoa.
You have a nemesis called Katana, who is also a daywalker but evil. It's the easiest fucking thing to do. Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like,
Hot Asian lady too.
yeah, hot Asian lady, and they make out at the end for whatever fucking reason. See?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
She's got my
Yeah.
back. This is
She's
Katana.
got
She's
my
got my
back.
back.
She's also a vampire.
She's
for
also a
some
vampire.
reason.
Don't let her suck her blood or you turn into one too.
You've got like a clean blueprint with that Blade movie that was made with Wesley Snipes. I mean, just fucking whoever's writing the new Blade movie just should be just watching that in the background,
Oh my
just
God,
like taking notes.
That scene where the blood leaks from the ceiling in the rave party, that's still so fucking iconic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, That's one of the
From the
greatest
sprinklers, the
character
fire
intro
sprinklers?
scenes I've ever seen. Is
So
the
good.
rave, and it doesn't look overproduced. Like it
No.
looks like an actual rave, like they would actually set something like that up. And then like in contrast, there's blood everywhere, and when you first see Blade, his suit is just totally spotless. It's like
Yeah.
just untouched by the blood. And like what a great push in that camera shot was. Like
Yeah.
Just
It's a fantastic
great
intro.
material.
It's
Everyone
really
go
really
watch
good.
Blade. We've reminded you before. We're reminding you again. Rewatch Blade if you haven't done
Hell
so
yeah.
recently.
I've ordered the I got myself the physical copies of those movies now because I like them so
Yay.
much. It's good shit.
nice.
Also-
Yeah, I got Blade 1.
I also got
On
myself
Blu-ray.
the I don't know, it's like a special edition, like the Deadpool dual edition with like a unicorn cover. There's like a little comic in it as well.
Huh,
It's like a comic and some
I've never seen that.
some behind the set thingies. I can send you some pictures later. Maybe just put them on Twitter for if people want to see those. It's kind of funny. That's kind of fun because it's like a little comic in there with like Cable and Deadpool. It's in German, unfortunately, though, so that's a bit annoying. Yeah, I don't speak German.
9.
9. But yeah, my slow but steady, my physical collection is getting built up. I just like having them now. It's like for the movies I like.
Oh yeah,
It's good
especially
stuff.
now.
Yeah. They will never be able to take Tropic Thunder away from me. That movie is in my possession.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. Very cool. Yeah, not a great movie, some fun parts, but yeah. I don't know. Pretty bad.
I actually think it works as a fan service.
Oh, it's a
teen
people
jangling
pleaser.
movie.
People are
I
gonna
think
eat
it's a
this
fun.
up.
Yes.
It's a fun meta commentary. It is not a good superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's
like,
yeah.
yeah, there's
It's
no
a good
great
time at the
moral here or
movies.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
a
good-
crowd
exactly.
pleaser kind of movie.
Yeah, the cinema just moves you when people go. "Yes!" But
Well,
he
no
It's
one
gets
better
went
than
mad.
gay
any
for me.
Transformers
It's
film.
funny, it's
I,
just-
I would watch this before rewatching any of the Transformers movies.
Oh come on! You don't like the Transformers movie where
No, I don't.
Anthony Hopkins just gets blown the fuck out? What? No.
Right,
I
let me-
wish I was in a
I guess I
theater that
thought
was more
Bumblebee was alright.
energized. It seemed like nobody really gave a shit about any of the, the
Oh, I didn't have any
elements.
clapping or anything, but there was a lot of laughing of the jokes and stuff.
Yeah, so like either they didn't understand like the significance of things were introduced, or they're all just like me. Like I don't clap or cheer or any of that shit.
Oh, that's
so,
just
like,
not a thing in general in Germany. That's just not a thing. The only time I actually had anything loud happening in a cinema is during Endgame when Cap picked up the hammer. That's the
Yeah.
only time ever where I was like where people were like, "Oh shit!"
yeah.
See, I'm getting
Yeah,
pushback
but
for
in-
that take, man. People like Transformers. I'm telling you, those movies are bad.
Seeing Infinity War in IMAX was probably one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. Just the energy in the room and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, let's just go. Let me go quickly through a couple of super chats, and then I can send you to the Mauler mines.
Hooray.
I can also bounce because it's like 2 a.m. here. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's only
Thanks for
three.
joining us,
There's
though,
only
Weekend.
3 things we'll be through quickly.
All right.
Don't worry.
Nice.
We got 12 months by Nexus, Bember Fleems, Flim Variety. Thank you very
Nice.
much.
Thank you.
Hey lads, hashtag Forge the Rebel Moon. No, stop. Leave me alone. I don't want to.
Oh my god.
I
Are you
was
guys
so
gonna
happy
watch
that he
the
didn't make me
director's cut?
watch it. I've
those,
never seen any Rebel Moon.
those
I-
fuckers
I
in my
just- I know
Discord, they
enough
keep
about it to know I probably won't enjoy it.
They keep tagging me with like hashtag Forge the Rebel Moon cuts. Like, no, fuck off. Those movies were awful. I don't want to watch a longer version of that.
I haven't seen it, but every clip and screenshot I've seen looks fucking ridiculous.
It's so bad, dude. It's really, really bad. It's really stinky.
It's just a shame.
They got 14 months of the Burp Enthusiasts variety by Aliyah. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Hashtag watch the Rebel Poon Snyder cut.
Oh boy.
Or snakes
yeah,
will get
there's-
banned by Swole. I mean, that's incentive not to watch it, to be honest.
There are explicit sex scenes in the previews I've seen. Like, well, it's not explicit, but they see humping with the main girl and the main guy. Like
That used to be a
so,
thing in movies more often.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
I'm
don't know that I
baffled,
miss it
though.
at all, though. It's like, well, whatever.
I'm just baffled. If you're gonna release the director's cut, why not just release it
yeah.
from the get go?
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
so dumb.
question. Yeah.
Well, the vast majority of sex scenes are unnecessary. Like there's narratively they don't really have any real function. There are some exceptions, but
There is one in Oppenheimer. That is a fucking he used that scene. Like
We had
Florence,
yeah.
you
there's
getting
one
railed
in
is important
shit.
to the plot.
Mark,
Sorry.
what's the movie you made me watch? I just forgot the name.
I don't know. I haven't made you watch Wild Things, and that's the only one I can think of right now.
This is
For
one where we
reasons.
talked about the sex scene being important because there's two. And they
Oh,
History of Violence.
History of Violence. Yes.
Oh,
you're right.
yeah.
Those are actually narratively useful. It's very
Yeah.
good. Good movie.
Viggo Mortensen movie with David Cronenberg directed. Yeah, everyone should watch that. And we did a forge on it too, so you
did.
can go back and watch the VOD.
We got 10 Euro by Electro Metro. Say something nice in German, please. Du hast wunderschöne Augen. There you go.
Nice.
Didn't catch that.
No, I didn't catch that. Sex scenes are all necessary for me. Oh, okay. Let's see. And we got 22 months of Pet the Charlie membership. Thank you very much, James. Hurry, spam super chat so keep Weekend here longer. It'd be funny.
No sleep for you.
No.
And there you go. We did it. All right, lads. I won't keep you longer. You two have to go, and the other one has to sleep. I actually have still time left in the day. I can get to chillax some more. But yeah, thank you very much for hanging out. What do you before you go? What are you guys up to? Weekend? You got anything coming out soon? You working on anything?
I don't want to say because I don't want people to bug me.
Secrets.
That makes sense.
That means he's
It's
working on
secret.
something.
No.
Well, I did get a new mic, so I am
Nice.
cooking up something. So
Let the man cook, for God's sake. God damn.
Cool.
Epic shit. But yeah, link obviously down in the description for the good boy over here. John.
thanks for having me, Metal.
All the time, dude. It's always good to have you. John, what's going on? You're flaming about?
John Graham on YouTube. I am cooking stuff as well.
Yeah.
Developing a number of scripts. I'm juggling a lot of different things, but I haven't put anything out in a while because I've taken a bit of a break.
Mm-hmm.
But I am working on stuff. I just got nothing to plug immediately. But yeah, working on Arby and the Chief and Machinima stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Everyone go watch Hard Justice on his channel. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hear us.
And
talk.
thanks a lot for inviting me to this, man. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, of
No,
course.
anytime, man.
This is a great discussion. I really wanted to talk about this movie, so yeah.
Hell
Thanks.
yeah. Gladly. Mark, you playing some gay little video games on your channel again?
I'm working on some videos right now, so I might not be streaming very much for the next little bit. No, I still might pop on every now and then when there's a reason to. But yeah, I'm working on a Hades video and a video on the Berserk games. That it's been
Oh, they really
they've
got
been
you
fun
those games,
for the
huh?
most part.
The Berserk games
Well-
look good.
Well, I mean, the Dreamcast one, I'll say this. You should play it in Redream and enable Infinite Continues because there's
Ooh.
an escape sequence towards the end of that game that is like, you have 10 credits for the whole game, otherwise you have to restart it again from the beginning.
Oh,
And
arcadey.
the controls in this game are not meant to handle a like Crash Bandicoot style run
Oh.
towards the screen and avoid things.
Gotcha.
I was just like, man, this would be the kind of thing that people would get pissed at if it was in an arcade. They'd be like, this is a money drainer right here.
God damn it.
But yeah, I'm working on the Musou one though, the ones like kind of Dynasty Warriors ish. It's got
and
some
Band of
moments,
the
but
Hawk.
it's pretty dull though. The PS2 one's amazing though. Like that's the one I primarily want to talk about because that one never came out in North America and I think it should because
That's peak.
still
That's
good.
peak.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. Links
And Metal,
down.
how about you? What do you got going on?
Well, I meant to play more Wind Waker this week, but the Monday, Tuesday, I was actually had the Sickheimers plus allergies, so I had a very great time.
Ooh,
One of
sounds
the
great.
rare occasions where I actually took days off of work. Normally, it's just like I do home office anyway, so if I have like a cold, it's just whatever. I can just work anyway. But this time I was like, no, I think I need to sleep. And then I slept for like 12 hours one day. It's like, yeah, now I feel better. So yeah, I had like some other things I had to go to. Then family people needed to do something. It was like nothing like serious. It was just like, yeah, I mean, it's just things that come up sometimes. You just do this and this, you know, all the busy work. But yeah, I'll be tomorrow. I'll be on True Pop Culture's stream. Gonna talk a bit more about this. So that should be fun. I think that's around this time, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think you said it was like 7 p.m. UK time. So it's basically now, tomorrow.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Now tomorrow. That's such a nice line.
24 hours from now.
24 hours from now.
I'll be on that one as well.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
Nice.
Where are you in Wind Waker? I love that game, man.
Oh, I just finished the the Earth and the other temple. So I now need to do the very exciting part of collecting all the shards. So,
oh god,
not really looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of busy work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the next one. So I'll be playing this this time probably on Tuesday. As far as I know now, I don't have anything going on that day, so I'm gonna do this. Gonna be editing more on the Vigia. I think I'll tell everyone soon what it's going to be about to the public, because I want to get it done fairly soon-ish, because it's going to be busy time soon, because Rings of Power is going to come out, Agatha is coming out, we got October coming up, so I'm probably going to be watching a lot of things with the EFAP crew for like Halloween and stuff like that, so yeah, I'm probably going to go hermit mode for like 2 months. I'm not going to hang out with friends or anything. It's like I'm going to be here and let my beard grow or something. And just work on things.
I'm going to send him a bunch of anime and convert him.
Series. Like, nobody fucking asked for that shit. Oh my god.
But yeah, that's all kinds of things going on, doing things and stuff. Gonna be fun things happening. And yeah, that's that. I'll be back tomorrow on that Troop Up stream. There you go. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. I release you to the other minds you have to be on and to bed. And I'm gonna go touch myself or something. We'll see.
Nice.
Anyway,
Bye, everybody.
Thanks
Thank you very much
for hanging out. It's been fun. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.